We have returned from break, and we're in the back part of the two-parter adventure. Well, it's a two-shot with 4 parts, and our two parts you're going to see unfold before you is Silent Night, Holy Night, and O Little Shop of Barth'l'mew. Yeah, well, welcome back. I hope you all stretched. If not, O'Sheeps is gonna put the smackdown on you. She knows rollout. Watch out.
Stretch.
So we are going to pick up here. You are aboard. You're aboard Zuzip's ship, and you begin sailing through waters that are very treacherous. Still, there are many icebergs. There are winds that are just that whip across, that drive the heat from your bodies. And it is very perilous indeed, as we try and make our trip from Turtle Island down to a place known as the Shore on the Crimson Coast. And from here, hopefully by mundane means, we can get the precious cargo from the ship over to Barth'l'mew's shop. Will they make it? I don't know. Let's find out.
Yo, Matty,
I'm giving it okay odds.
I want to roll to sink the ship.
Sure. You don't even need to roll. I believe in you. I believe that a rampaging...
We'll make the decision.
Just as a plesiosaur, just tear the rudder off the ship and, just...
I want to clamber down into the bottom and then become a whale.
Yeah, just savage it like some kaiju.
Okay. If Zuzip's ship is sinking...
Actually, if the ship sinks, we do have a backup.
Yeah.
So let's...
love ship! and ready to throw a box out into the water.
Oh, Equam, I didn't mean it.
As we begin sailing, is there a quick short rest?
Oh, you actually, you're gonna have a full rest. You're sailing for days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta be. That's a whole, 40 feet to the shore.
Yeah. I think if we go back and measure that, that's 40 feet away. So yeah, you're gonna be able to get a long rest in. So recharge any of the things that need to recharge. And we're going to have you help Zuzip's crew navigate to the shore. Now, this is going to be perilous. There are going to be icebergs. There could be some other things that happen. And Zuzip's ship is sailable. However, you may recall that there was a very large hole kind of blown out of it when Ambush Island was made manifest because it froze completely through. And so there's a big chunk of it missing, which could also cause structural problems over time. It's enough that they can get underway to complete the mission, as it seems to be a very important one that Barth'l'mew had given. Not that they're all not, but some are more important than others. So we are going to begin the journey, and what I'm going to do is we're going to treat this kind of like a round robin. So I want sort of quick off the cuff. This is a role play challenge as well as a mechanical instance of something.
This is over the course of a long period, not specific quick things.
Correct. Though we're going to treat this as one encounter, despite it being over the course of days. So if you consume spell slots, it is part of to accent something along those lines, then they're going to be gone until it's completed. As per a skill challenge, which in my opinion was a wonderful addition to 4th edition. That could be controversial. I'm not looking to stir stuff up.
Agreed.
Edition wars. I am looking for a certain number of successes before a certain number of failures. And, that's the DC is for me to know as you're adjusting to what's happening. And, what you do might roll into what you could end up helping someone out, or you could end up, just coming up with something that's brilliant and modifies whatever's going on. So what we're gonna do though, I do want to make this quick. You can add a narrative flair about why are you choosing to use this skill through this, with the accent of a discipline or an attack or a trait or a feat or something. So the first challenge. And I am gonna say that a skill between all of you can only be used once. So if one of you uses perception, none of the rest of you can use perception. This is the extra little modifier to get you to think creatively and adapt to what's happening here. Otherwise, I mean, what fun is that to just sit on perception the whole time? Anyway, so all the skills and whatnot are open, and we're going to open up with you having left Turtle Island. It is a diminishing turtle behind you. It does have, like, especially in the cold air, like big gouts of like steam and heat are coming off of it. And while it is still chilly, it's a little sad sight because that was a good source of warmth. The ship has a little bit of heating, but it's nothing quite like that. And you are seeing now that we're gonna start sailing. Let me get my little Indiana Jones marker here. Okay, so we start sailing south, and as we do so, there are some icebergs that are going to need some help navigating through. Who would like to step up to provide? Oh, it's 50 feet. Okay. Who would like to step up and help the ship navigate through icebergs that were slowly accumulating on Turtle Island, but are since sort of like thrown off and drifting?
I do have a way to help.
Okay.
So I'm the strong boy in this party, since everyone else seems to be like plebs. So.
Okay.
Weak boys. Yeah.
I think what I would do, since like I'm very maneuverable, I'm a monk, and at level 9, I can run up like the mast of the ship, no problem with like my movement, since I can run up and walk on walls and stuff. So I think I would be like going up to the sails and like helping unfurl and like move the mast a little bit, like manually, and like because I got like fish hook fingers.
Very well. Make an athletics check then, as you're going through the rigging and you're having to haul like heavy rope and move some heavy stuff around here.
Yeah, like get those sails at full mast.
Oh yeah, okay. So, June, you just you run up and you're everywhere. The sails are doing what they need to do. You're catching every little bit of wind. You're actually able to make some tighter maneuvers than even what Zuzip thought was capable with her ship. And you do manage to clear the initial icebergs here surrounding Turtle Island. Next up, as we're sailing south, around Dinosaur Island, because it has been kept warm by the volcanoes and other things that are rupturing in a thermal way, there's a great fog because of the tropical moisture and the things that are now competing with this cold front that continually blows in from across the trench. And the ship, it's not that there's still not icebergs, though we are going now into a big, like, super thick bank of fog. Now, June, you have already done something for this round, where I'm going to go through all 4 of you. Of the 3 remaining, who would like to do something to help the ship get past Dinosaur Island without crashing?
I have a few like good all-purpose skills, so if you guys have one here, I mean, I have an idea for this one, but if either of you have
to work together.
All right, I'm gonna send my familiar up to just peer above the fog and duck in and out, so that way we can keep kind of a directional distance while still kind of guiding through without being able to see clearly in front of us.
Okay, yeah, so it can certainly fly above. Now it'll go outside the 100 feet, but that's fine. You want to use your perception to go through, or is this a navigation tool?
Can I use my familiar's keen sight to make that check with advantage?
Sure. We'll count that. Yeah. So you can get a 1 use out of this in the grand scheme. So sure, go ahead and roll the keen sight on your familiar. Nice. All right. So okay. Hey, we'll take that 20. All right, so you are dipping it up and down through the fog cloud here. You're coming back down and you're shouting down, yeah, there's a whatever here. Watch out, there's a looks like there's a family of plesiosaurs off the starboard bow. You know, you want to get through that. You wouldn't have seen it in the fog. You might have collided with them. That would have been horrible. And you're able to dodge some rocks and some other things that are
islands, mountaintops, I imagine, that stick out above.
Yeah.
Little known, plesiosaurs are kind of like manatees.
So we have gotten through the fog, and as you've been sailing around Dinosaur Island now, this constant churning of cold and warm has caused a storm to kick up, and the seas are crashing and ravaging. Here, now that you're on the south side of the island after sailing past, between Equam and Woo Woo, what would you like to do to help navigate through, weather the storm, do something to help the ship get through the whipping winds and this squall that is kicked up?
Equam, I'm sure you got this.
Equam is not doing very well in this storm. He is a bit queasy in general out here on the water, and the storm is kind of buffeting him about, and he will try to keep an eye or a finger or something for the wind to try to make sure that as we're passing through this storm, we're getting as much of these high storm winds to push us through as quickly as possible.
So is this going to be survival to try and find the winds like a game trail and hunt? Are you like hunting the wind currents? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a survival then. That's fine. Oh, all right. So the ship is rocked in the storm, and the tally, the tally sits at 2 and 1. Successes to failures here.
Yo, Guam, are you doing all right, man?
And
You look pretty nauseous.
kibbles rain down from the crow's nest.
Oh no.
All right. The storm has damaged the ship, and the ship has listed out and is floating. Like somehow, the waters, even of the deep ocean, get even deeper and darker as Zuzip's ship is now above the trench. And the trench, of course, has a notorious reputation for being, well, full of, eldritch aquatic monstrosities and a lot of bad stuff in these very dark waters. And it's also, it is super cold above the trench. Super duper cold. Woo Woo, we're on to you. The ship, now you have a couple options here. The ship is damaged. Not that it still can't sail, but the ship is in bad shape. If it were to take more damage, that would probably be bad. Or you can, hope someone else fixes the ship, and you can try and, combat the cold, or to somehow get us back on course to go towards the shore.
All right, what I want to do, Matty, I want to, and hear me out, I want to use conjure animals to conjure a bunch of seagulls.
Okay.
And
Mine.
well, the idea, right, is seagulls are a sign that you're near land, and the sailors will see that, and it will boost their morale, and so everyone will work more efficiently and better because
maybe
they're
we can
excited to see
convince a monster to help us, like we can catch a ride off the seagull.
Very well. So you can roll this through performance or persuasion with advantage because your seagulls are helping give you that boost. Like I'm a druid. I know what I'm talking about. Seagulls mean we're close to land.
Oh, I don't need seagulls. We got this, guys. We got it.
Well, it doesn't even have to be those two. Make a positive social role of some kind at advantage.
Well, I think that's just gonna be like, hey guys, there are seagulls over there. Oh, whoa! Look, seagulls.
Yeah, you've absolutely persuaded people with that 19 here.
Seagulls.
And yeah, the cheers go up. The bunny folk are hopping around. The Florins are watching out because grass types are weak to flying types, but they're still bolstered. And and so yeah, despite the cold and the fact that the ship is damaged, we haven't really made progress on the map, but we've made progress in our hearts. And so the ship is bolstered, and in some way, if one of you wants to, in this next round of skills, somehow lean into this, I would let the advantage roll into something else. But remember, persuasion has been taken off the... it counts as a success overall, but persuasion has been taken off of the chart. So...
Alright, are we still over the trench?
So, yeah, you are still over the trench. It's very cold. The ship is damaged, but people at least are in high spirits because there's seagulls in this narrative time. I mean, any of you can act. We're not really in initiative. June, if you want to go first again, you're welcome to. Otherwise, someone can do something.
Well, sure, yeah. So, since we're over the like dangerous area, I'm thinking like of ways like since in my past as a child I would be on like the mean streets and have to get through like all the nooks and crannies. Though this is in the city, you sort of have that mindset of like avoiding the bad stuff like around you, or like maybe like sneaking past your the shop clerk to shoplift something. Not that I ever did that.
Oh, clearly.
No, Barth'l'mew adventures are pure of heart.
Yeah. Oh, pure as the wind-driven snow. So you want to stealth?
Yeah, let's see if we can
find
any ways to stealth.
The seagulls have the benefit of encouraging the sailors, but they've also attracted with their caws and their calls some unwanted attention, as it would appear there's some things lurking in the waters that aren't quite sure what to do, but maybe you can take that decision from them if they don't even, as best as possible, suspect that you're anything more than you are, or that you're kind of sneakily, I don't know, you're going into like silent running mode aboard Zuzip's ship. So yeah, I would absolutely accept a stealth check from you.
Yeah, we could use the seagulls as like a distraction and like veer off onto the side. Alright, well, let's go.
Nice. Boom. Okay. So this is another success. And so you are able to navigate over the trench, and you're actually back on course. You're back on course, and you've made more progress for the shore. And now you are approaching an area where the city of Tritanic, a submerged city? Question mark, right? I have that correct?
Yes. It is at the bottom of the ocean. A
submerged city made from 3 wrecked ships 100 years ago that have hit icebergs. And by the way, there are icebergs. And in fact, there's an uncanny amount that are floating around the Titanic, almost like just karmic vultures over the corpses that they sank before. So from here, there are speculation from sailors that the denizens of the Titanic may wish to scuttle the ship and bring them down, or may want to board the ship and steal things. There are also a lot of icebergs. So whoever is next, and there could even be whatever third option you would want to go with what you know of the map. We will continue with whoever's doing the next skill.
Keeping with the idea of like trying to hide our presence.
Okay.
We've used stealth, but I don't suppose that my knowledge of disguising people and using a disguise kit could be transferred in any way to disguising a ship from the denizens. From the denizens of Titanic below.
How? Yeah. So how do you want to disguise the ship?
Well, I'd like to make the ship seem, at least from below, as unship-like as possible. And since there do seem to be quite a fair number of icebergs around, yet another iceberg would likely go completely unnoticed.
Okay, you want to cloak the ship with maybe like lashing onto an iceberg and kind of like using it as cover to sail along?
Yes.
All right. This is crazy enough to perhaps work. I will allow the creativity. Go ahead and roll a disguise straight up, and let's find out.
Now, what skill would you like me to use for it?
Deception.
Deception?
Yeah. Well, hey. Oh, okay. No. Hang on. I threw a well as you clicked that. Deception or nature. I'll let you choose.
Well, that kind of makes sense.
And you can re-roll because I said well at the exact same time and I was going to give you an option. So you can choose deception or nature to try and blend in.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with deception because nature seems like it could be useful later.
Okay, so go ahead and roll deception. Oh no. Well, you did one better, but that takes us from a 6 to a 7. And so you...
Are we being attacked by sea people?
You're not, as the plan... Either they're not the monsters people say that they are, or the plan actually worked. However, Equam, in trying to lash the ship to an iceberg, the ship has now become more damaged, and it is... because the iceberg like crashed into the already weakened ship, and the ship is in danger of sinking. It's whatever skill is used next has to be to repair the ship. As you are floating, like you're limping over the side of the Titanic, like even in the deep waters, you see the lights of the underwater city, maybe some like movement of things under the waves, but they pay you no heed. Unfortunately, though, Zuzip's ship is not in good shape, and it's listing. There's leaks. The Florins can only drink so much water before going up to the deck and vomiting it out. It's interesting here. So I would need Woo Woo or Kringle to do something because the ship is not in good repair.
I mean, unless you have anything, this seems kind of like my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I should try doing this right here.
I will. I will repair the ship using my carpenter's tools and all of the entire kit that's built around building and fixing things.
Right. That is certainly a strong point of yours, and so you can make a tool check off of intelligence at advantage because this is bread and butter for Kringle if he eats such foods. Nice, 25. That is certainly a tally in the win column, and so the ship doesn't make progress, but the ship can now progress because it has been repaired. Woo Woo, we're on to you. The iceberg you're tethered to, though, in part of this, like you had to separate yourself off. You are seeing ahead. The sailors are indicating that there's an ice shelf that you're getting very close to that has grown off of the Crimson Coast, and so it's dangerous to approach here. But there might be other ways, or there could be ways to navigate. There could be ways to circumnavigate. But to get close to the Crimson Coast is going to be very difficult to do, since things have frozen up as continually it's gotten cold and cold. I will say when you passed over Titanic, there was almost like a localized blizzard above the city. And it was bitterly cold above the city. And after you sailed over Titanic, it went back to just being cold instead of super freezing. And, okay. All right, so Woo Woo, what are you doing here to help guide the ship to make progress in some way. Cold seas, you have a fixed ship. There is a sheet of ice. This could be, I don't know.
Yeah, so I got a question, Matt.
Sure.
This is a rules question. So if you got a ship, right, in Dungeons and Dragons, right? Would the ship have a stat block? What would I say?
Yes. I will go by Ghost of Saltmarsh. You do have a stat block.
Okay. And so you could cast spells affecting the ship. Well, obviously, if I cast like fly on the ship, it wouldn't do anything because it doesn't have a thought, like a brain.
Correct. It would have to be an object.
Okay, but I could potentially cast a spell on it that would affect the ship.
Potentially, I'm open-minded to this. Yes.
So if I cast the spell Lark Skin and made the sides of the boat made out of larks, would it be able to fly? If I could corral the larks.
Good God, Jeremy.
No is an acceptable answer to that.
I'm gonna say no to flying, though I would not prevent this attempt from having an effect, if you so wish.
No, I'll save lark skin for later.
Okay.
Instead, God, there's an ice shelf. This is awful.
You are in mostly open sea, but there is an ice shelf.
If I cast like a protection from energy spell upon the ship, would that give it? Because it can give resistance to one damage type: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. Would this be bludgeoning or light or cold damage that would be affecting the ship at the ice shelf?
It would really be receiving a mix of both. Though the thing that would damage the ship the most would be the bludgeoning and not so much the cold.
Okay, I got this. Don't worry about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to... So the thing that we're worried about, if I get this right, Matty, right, it's the ship scraping against the ice and being damaged more.
Yeah, how are you going to get the ship where it needs to go without busting on the ice? Because the ice sheet will tear through the ship under normal circumstances.
It would if it weren't covered in lard. But if I cast the spell Larding Wind, I can create a centralized storm of lard around myself, which I can use as a lubricant to slide the ship over the ice.
This is
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, let's.
And I'll transform into an ankylosaurus that can drag the ship over the ice.
Well, so we're not to the ice yet. It's been spotted like in the distance. You see that there is like an extension.
I will tow it as a plesiosaurus then.
Okay.
Over the lard, because I can concentrate on the spell Larding Wind while being a plesiosaurus.
Okay. So athletics has already been used.
Oh, has been. Uh-oh.
It has been used, yes. And so abiding by my arbitrary rules, which are concrete, even though they're arbitrary.
Would we maybe call this a spellcasting ability check? Because it's mostly my spell.
It is, but you're also carrying a very large ship that's kind of wibbling on the waves and on the greasy waves. So we would need a measure of either brute force or control.
Your larding ability.
Not maybe like a constitution, like I can withstand it. I can front the weight.
You know what? We can treat a constitution check as if you're concentrating on a spell and getting damaged.
Okay.
As a something there that could assist in this regard. So yeah, you can roll con as a check to concentrate on your spell and to try and power through despite the waves and all the other distractions.
Can I do that as a plesiosaurus?
To concentrate? To take the plesiosaur? Yeah. While you are a plesiosaur in this kind of narration, this is a woo-woo thing. Like, this is woo-woo's will. It almost sounds like a spell or a magic item. Woo-woo's will. So you are a plesiosaur, but woo-woo is the heart of the plesiosaur. And
Okay. So I'm gonna use Woo-woo's con.
yes, use woo-woo's con for this.
What's my DC?
The DC is the arbitrary one I've set for the skill checks.
Uh-oh.
Woo-woo!
The Lard works too well, and I get hit by the ship.
All right, so the what happens? You just lard effluses. I think that's the word from you. It just, I mean, just globs of this stuff is just like pouring out of plesiosaur woo-woo. And as such, because the waters have been chummed with the smell of fresh fats floating in otherwise a very chilly area where it's probably driving a lot of other prey away, Woo-woo the plesiosaur realizes there's a lot of fins in the water now that are snapping up your globules of lard.
The lard is coming out at 20 miles per hour, man. The lot of lard.
It is. It is an appreciation of the sheer volume of lard pouring out of your wherever it's coming from as a plesiosaur.
Probably my eyes.
And I mean, you're just leaving a skid mark of lard like behind you on the waves, and this is attracting all kinds of predators. So this is, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, this is unfortunately a fail. But what this is going to do is this is going to drive the ship off course as you're getting away from the sharks and the other predators that have just been drawn to this feast you sluiced out of your magical orifices into the water. All right, so we're back around. Everyone is refreshed in some way. We have gone off course from the shore. However, there is an alternative that the sailors have said where it seems as if there's a finger of the slumbering spine that juts out into the ocean. And so it would seem that this ice shelf here is continuing. It's like kind of growing towards or off of the Crimson Coast. It may be possible to navigate to kind of that point of the finger and land the ship somewhere there. So all four of you are refreshed. Several skills are off the table. However, who would like to step up? You've shaken off the water predators. It is the morale, though, unfortunately, like the effect of that is kind of down. And so the sailors are, how are we going to do this? This is dangerous water. Food supplies are running low, and water, because they didn't really plan for such a long trip, and they're traveling as lightly as possible. And so the ship is in decent shape, but the crew is getting demoralized. There's a lack of food and water. Everyone's not dying from it yet. But this is what's happening. And then, of course, you need to try and approach these mountains jutting out into the water.
I mean, there's plenty of lard.
There was. It had finished. It had finished spewing from Woo-woo at 20 miles an hour. But so we have moved on past the lard slick. I never thought I'd say that in my life, but it happened. And
You survived the lard.
I got an idea to kick us off if someone else wants to go.
Someone step up, bring us home.
Please.
All right.
About our cargo. I was wondering about the what we're transporting, the thing that's like gonna return like warmth to everything.
The VIPs?
Yeah, the VIPs.
The VIPs
Like,
have been
do they
safe
do
and
anything,
sound.
or do they,
The VIPs are there. They're given food and water as a priority. They've been off limits to you. You weren't allowed to go and see them. So this is they're it's kind of an escort mission in a sense. So you got to get our NPCs to safety without harm coming to them. Such as the ship breaking apart and sinking.
Like, we could ask them to do anything.
No, you cannot. It's not a bad idea. Good question, but you cannot.
Damn it, ship, we're all gonna die.
I'm doing the best that I can.
If I hadn't already used persuasion, I would have tried to persuade you to let us see the VIPs.
Kringle, you had something you wanted to do to try and...
Yeah, Kringle reads a lot of news, and as we're going into water, like part of the route that wasn't necessarily on the map, he's just gonna kind of go back into his mind and try to like remember over the last, because he's like 100 years old, remember some of the events in the Crimson Coast around this region.
Okay.
You know, where merchants and stuff have been known to like disappear and stuff like that, in the hopes of avoiding like pirate hotspots and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
okay.
We're not like attacked. So I'm making a pull for history.
Yeah, go ahead and make a history. This might afford a clue, or you could avoid some kind of like a Bermuda Triangle style thing, or pirate lanes. Oh, nice! Look at that, 28. My goodness. All right.
Lots of things.
So, Kringle, you remember all the things, and by doing so, you have helped the ship's crew reach the number that I was looking for, and it does take you. It takes you a bit far, especially because the pirates would be maybe patrolling, because everyone is gripped by apparently treasure fever. You know, enough that other treasure-seeking parties will just assault random other treasure-seeking parties to steal pieces of wood from them. And how barbaric, yes. And yeah, Woo Woo is just on the railing looking towards the shore, shaking his head, and, you know, just savages.
Taking the moral high ground.
That's me.
And so by clearing wide of the unscrupulous nature, combined with this, you know, this odd phenomena that's happening, you have reached the tip of the slumbering spine so much that it juts out into the ocean. And fortunately, Zuzip's crew is able to get the ship into a place that's not going to be dashed against the rocks. And from here, you are asked to disembark from the ship and to try and find some kind of a route or something that the sailors, who are sailors and not mountaineers, that these sailors can somehow find a way to get the if you can escort the VIPs eventually, but you need to go ahead and try and find a trail, a path. And so this is going to take you, yes, this is going to take you where there's a bit of an ice sheet that's going out over the rolling ocean, and you see that at the tip of the slumbering spine, there's a figure that is a part of the mountain. And of course, as the legends go, a great titan had fallen, and from this titan's body, the slumbering spine was made. However,
Yeah.
June, this is, I mean, you're from the Slumbering Spine Mountain.
Yeah.
And believe me, I've been trying to give you plenty of opportunities, but your dice haven't been cooperating to give you even more clues as to what's happening. Though that said, I will speak through your mouth and say, you've heard the legends of the Titan. Everyone's like, yeah, that's just what we call it. We get it. It's a Titan. You are seeing a Titan that is the tip of this mountain range. That, you know, and you're like, well, I live over here. Like, my village is probably like miles, like over that way. And something odd. The mountain itself is kind of blowing away. Like great fragments of ice, except they're floating like snowflakes. And it's almost as if this Titan is just dissipating, or the mountain itself, if the mountain was the crust around, and it's slowly taking this form. The Titan, the mountain range itself is dandruff. The mountain itself seems to be fading, disappearing. Of course, this could threaten your community, your family. There's a lot of people who live and work amongst the slumbering spine. And whether or not this is it's actually part of the mountain, it's a mere coincidence that the mountain has eroded in this sense. You are seeing this happen. And so I'm going to tug on a heartstring for you here. However, June, when you placed your character where you did in yesterday's session, I'm like, oh, you. I swear we didn't talk about this. But you know what, June? You are a native. You would know this place, better than most. And so with you having landed where you did, you could lead the expeditionary force, if you so choose. Do you so choose? I mean, you could just throw woo in the front. Just be like, you do it.
Oh, God.
No, sure, I'll do it.
Okay. All right. June is taking the lead. We have our marching order in a broad sense. You all depart Zuzip's ship as it is affixed as best it can in as close to a safe and natural harbor at the tip of the slumbering spine, because you need to go and try and find a way forward. And so you walk over the frozen waves. You walk to the mountain. June, you're an able pathfinder. I won't need you to make any particular rolls. As you're going over the rocks here. The team, I mean, you've been through so much together on just this adventure, little in the past ones. Woo Woo apparently needs help time and again to scrabble up some rocks. Equam, you're good at going, like, climbing ahead and scouting, using your cat-like eyes and your ability to scamper and climb. Kringle, sometimes you need an ingenuitive way to climb a rock, so maybe you make like a little spanner, or you create a little device that can help you do this. As the slumbering spine is in many ways treacherous on its own, let alone when fragments of the rock just seemingly peel away and blow off in the wind.
That's not good.
I've never been here before, but this doesn't seem like regular for it.
Yeah, it's probably bad.
I think I'd agree with that assessment.
June, you remember days ago, before Barth'l'mew's call to adventure, that there were a lot of other dream monks, and Circle of Dreams druids that have been visiting. And of course, we just chalk this up to, it's solstice. People are traveling for the holidays. It is the slumbering spine. There is a monastery up here that does have a gate to the dream world. And as you're climbing, you're finding the best paths and hopping, and you're doing great at navigation and getting around, leading the others. You come across on your way up. You come across about the knee here as you've climbed and I don't think you can see my squiggle unless you're looking at the stream here. So we started the ship was the ship would have been like over here. So we kind of hop up, and this is like a family circus cartoon. Yeah, you're going in as best a route as possible, and here. After just a lot of climbing and shivering, and things are getting treacherous and cold, you come across June, your people, or at least people who practice your style of martial art, the Way of Dreams, and also some of these dream druids, and they are standing in some kind of a ritual circle in the open space at the top of the Titan's knee here. They're chanting. They don't seem to have seen you all, but June, you see them. You would recognize them as your people, in a way, through your discipline, the locale of where they live. What would you like to do here with the circle that is being enacted?
Oh, hey, it's actual dream month. Damn, I thought I had a pretty bad feeling about this. Whatever's going on doesn't seem good. Are you guys ready? Let's go talk to them.
No, it sounds like a good idea. It's good to see some friendly faces.
It's weird. What's going on? It's like the giant titan is having some like dandruff issues or something. No.
It's freezing up here.
Alright, it's really not that okay.
Sure, here. I'll let you borrow my sticker. Reminds me of a time I had with my father when we went to the first show to see the Abominable Snowman. with times.
That's okay. You probably need it.
Right. Do they react at all as we come closer to this circle of agreements?
You're chanting initially no, but almost until you're right on top of them. I mean, if you wanted to ambush them and just outright murder them, you probably could have surprised them. However, when you don't know that.
I'm assuming.
All right, there we go. Woo woo. What did we learn?
Oh, that the people we assume are friendly are always friendly.
Hopefully that carries forward. All right. So yeah, you approach and they notice, and you see all of them look absolutely tired. And also several of them have mostly blackened, shimmery eyes, and everyone has at least some part of that black glossiness to their eyes, let alone the sleep bags from just being depraved of sleep and very tired. But several of them are, you see that they're still chanting and standing there, but they're tensing their neck muscles, they're pumping their fists, as their eyes open, and they look around, kind of like, are we done yet? And their eyes have been like fully converted over. But you go over to one of them. Are you approaching a monk or a druid?
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, pups, what's going on?
I get it might change the flavor. Did you want to approach a monk or a druid in particular?
Oh, a monk.
Oh, all right, gotcha. All right, so he's there. He's trying, like he's doing some of the kata techniques to practice. He's doing some breathing. Opens his eyes, and you see that they're mostly filled with black, but there's still a little bit in there. June, good to meet you. I don't know why you're here, but I'm glad that you are. We don't seem to be able to have what it takes to open this gate into the dream world. There's been trouble. Our gates have been frozen. We need to make a new one, but it's so difficult in the cold in the June. Like he kind of like turns and he puts his hands on your shoulder. The dreams are bitter. It's affecting everyone. It's, he's kind of like stammering now that he's out of the practice and he's kind of out of that rhythm. He's so exhausted, but we just can't seem. We're just so upset over nothing. We're so agitated, and the lack of sleep is only making it worse.
Oh, cool. Then I'll let you guys handle that. I'll be on my way.
No.
I have no idea what to do. Since I'm not actually a dream monk.
What do you want to go back and tell your friends, or do you want to ask them? Do you want to ask while you're there if there's anything they can do?
Oh, is there anything I can do? I don't want everyone to be sad.
Yes. Someone who can sleep. Someone who has great sleeping powers.
Sleep. That kind of might be me. I don't know.
He bumps the backseat ears. Just. Are you stepping forward now towards the?
Yeah, I'm stepping forward, and as I do, I kind of look up at the sky, and like try to track what time, like try to get an idea of what time of day it is.
Unless I was gonna say unless you have the feet, but you wouldn't. It's D&D time. I'm not saying that disrespectfully. It is as you see. Like this is just everything is gray. Everything is same. Everything is just this crushing cold, a constant whine in your ear. In fact, all of you here, you're starting to feel kind of annoyed. You've been through all this. You've been wet. You've been cold. People have insulted you. People have fought. And there's just that little bit of glimmer in your eyes that makes you upset.
Why does everybody come to me with problems now? I can't minutes.
But Equam... Oh, I'm sorry. I interrupted. Go ahead. I'm sorry, June.
Oh, no, it's fine. Of course, everyone always interrupts June as well. No personal time for June. So June this and June, no, come save me. And June, I don't want to listen to you. Let me talk over you, June.
Excellent role playing for the meta. And also, I'm sorry. Don't hurt me. Yeah, so Equam, as you come out here, and they're kind of grumbling, you have all these, they're so tired. All the monks and the druids just look, and carried on the wind is Tabaxi, yes, the savior, the one who can sleep for us all, Tabaxi. As you're examining, your eyes just see this bleariness, this sameness all around. You know, your fuzz is as raised as it can be to try and help trap heat. But for a moment, everyone's eyes widen at you, Equam, as this master sleeper, who started his adventure being denied his fourth nap, apparently is going to be the savior of these dream monks and druids trying to open a gateway into the dream realm to find out what is happening.
And then I stab him in the back.
PvP is allowed.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that mad.
But you think it, right, Woo Woo?
I definitely think it.
Okay. Good role playing.
I envision it.
Role playing,
I
right?
go to do it, and then I realize I don't have any goddamn arms.
That's true. Unfortunately, your arm manifestations would have withered after some time.
Yeah, I'm not a healing lord anymore.
Yeah. All right. Equam, are you willing to help open a portal to the dream realm?
Yes.
All right. I need you.
I need to know what I need to do, but I am certainly willing.
I need you to sleep, Equam. And by I mean all the NPCs require you to sleep.
Can I cast guidance to help?
Of course.
I can help him with that.
Can I cast sleep to help?
Of course you can.
My guidance. Go the fuck to sleep.
And that's our one, ladies and gentlemen. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, Woo Woo.
Is that Jeremy's one or all of our one?
That was the stream
I
one.
didn't realize we all got. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I just took that from all of you.
Hey, I mean, if Thanos drops an F-bomb in Avengers, then none of the other Avengers get to say it. So,
That's true.
The true villain. I don't think he did, but example made. Also, I'm laughing, so there's no hard feelings. It's just, whatever. Anyway. So, with guidance and Kringle, you want to cast sleep on Equam?
Equal, how much health do you got?
66.
All right, we might need to beat you up a little bit before you go to sleep.
Don't worry, I got you. I got to sleep.
All right. Oh, jeez. Hit.
Call this a
4 of those hit.
Hit, miss, hit, crit, hit. Yeah. Equam, you just hear "I got you," and then suddenly just this figure just rushes up.
40, 32, 25, 15.
Now, boys and girls, we call this subdual damage in 3rd edition.
That is very That is some very effective nap.
So yeah, Equam, it's night time.
Everyone's starting to get like. I think in the canon of how this happens is all of us are starting to get that like kind of bit of bitterness in us.
Yeah.
And it's like he needs to go to sleep, and it's just like punch, sleep spell. Is that good enough?
So with a very interesting like Chrono Trigger combo of our two characters here, of June rushing up and doing like a combo, while Kringle is sneaking in, like weaving in a sleep spell here. Equam, yeah, you are knocked the heck out, and as this happens, the other the monks redouble their chanting, and the druids try to start casting more. Now, Woo Woo, if you want to get in on this, there are druids here. You might be able to assist with a cast or something along those lines. You don't have to, but if you want to do anything in particular.
No, they're good.
Okay, it's, not your circle, not your problem.
Exactly. These suckers.
They don't know the real druidic magic of the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're there observing these odd dream druid spells. You get it, but I don't know. Maybe it's ineloquent, or to you they mispronounce something. And you see over Equam, like a big cat's eye rises out, yellow with a very vibrant black pupil, and it has a wavy quality to it, and June, the monk that you were talking to, breaks. It still kind of has the ritual that is doing the hand signals, but still, we need to maintain the portal as best we can. Can you please take the others? We can hold the portal. You can drag your friend in with you. Whatever's on the other side could be causing this, and you'll need all the help you can get.
Oh, okay. Alright. Then I'll, swing Equan into the portal and, backflip in. Peace out. Play my, entry music, theme music. Da 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 da.
Alright, so you huck Equam in. You yourself jump in, Kringle and Woo Woo. There's this big cat's eye portal that is in the circle of the monks and the druids as they're focusing their wisdom to hold it.
Oh, I'm going in.
All right, Woo Woo's going in. Kringle, this leaves you.
I'll hop in.
All right.
Wait, actually, before we go in. Hey, Kringle.
Yes, Woo?
You want a beer?
No.
Can you get me one? I'm kind of thirsty. It's real cold.
Look around a little bit.
It's in my bag.
Oh, yeah. I telekinesis out of its bag. And...
All right. I have ooze booze.
Ah.
Oh, damn. You don't want to drink it yet, do you?
I'm going to drink one of the ooze booze.
Want me to telekinesis pour it for you?
I can carry it with my damn tail. What's on my bag? Thank you.
All right.
All right, now I jump through with the ooze booze in hand.
All right.
Or in tail.
In tail. All right. As you do, the world gets very, very cold. As, even colder than the teleportations you faced before. And all of you, or each of you here...
Each of us died.
Are going to take 36 cold damage.
Oh, Jesus.
As you are going to manifest on the other side of this portal. Though, before you fully manifest, as the wind and this soul freezing cold, in this transition, in this place of liminality, where the real world of D&D Time meets whatever fanciful creations people think of in Dreamtime. And you find yourselves clouds dissipating, and you're flying over, it looks like almost a textile pattern. Or maybe, Kringle, some kind of Sokatone machinery called a circuit. As you're just seeing a bunch of lines that are all lit up and going at various angles. And looking closer as you're flying over, it's a city, but they have horseless carriages that are carrying people around. There's lights. There's a lot of houses that are lit up in solstice fashion, but something about this place just doesn't... It's not natural. These are not the lands of D&D Time that you know and love. The houses look strange. There's no fantastic beasts. It's all just sort of mundane buildings. There's parks and whatnot. And at this nighttime juncture, all around you in the wind, you're hearing, oh, it's another day of work, or I'm so far behind on my debt. It's something about a credit card, and something about someone's wife, and then there's voices, just what I need. dog pissed on the carpet again. And then the cat knocked it over into the piss puddle. 54% of my documents were soaked. And for all of you out there, that's a nod to our prior episode. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch. And you're just hearing, you're hearing pleas to you're hearing pleas to higher forces. Just this, there's an entity that doesn't even have a name just besides God. Maybe there's an overarching one in this world. And you're hearing other deities and other beliefs. And there's just a sense of pain and frustration, a sense of, please, a crushing sense of despair from people. And it hurts. Despite the beauty of all that you're flying over, as you're passing city by city all at night, thousands of voices at a time, and just single strains are being plucked out at you. And there's a lot of hurt in this world, a lot of strain and frustration and fear and shortedness, where flat tire and whatever a tire is, maybe it's like a wagon wheel. And, wagon wheels can be inconvenient, but this person was, I'm going to go, and, you're getting, like, a very violent reaction from someone for having their wagon wheel split. And just this crushing negativity and desperation. And I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Is this before or after the cold damage?
This is going to be before the cold damage.
Is this magic?
I
guess it doesn't matter.
Oh.
Oh my God! Everyone in this world is an adventurer. Everyone is bitter.
If I could punch it in the face, I would.
And there we go. All right. So, Equam, some of these people, you must have heard some of these things that just resonate with you. You're like, yeah, you know what? I was woken up from a nap to go on this list of errands, and I don't. And you know what, Barth'l'mew could just go climb a tree or so, whatever, And so, Equam, your eyes darken a little bit more as you know what? All this petty stuff, all this, whatever. And you also now are, as you're passing over more and more, people are just, what on earth is going on? What is happening to this world? I just, the whole, the earth can just burn. And you're hearing earth, earth, earth. Oh my. Could you be over Earth? This weird plane. Lemek, of all people, mentioned Earth. If the people here, if he took a shine to him, then what does that say? But this was also the place that Barth'l'mew had an interest in. However, his VIPs were drawn from Earth. Still, the clouds cover once more. And mercifully, all of the negativity, all of the drain, all of the, I can't do this, the doubt, despite all the cheer and the light. And you heard a dozen different religions and philosophies in your brief and, alien flight over this place. People of eloquence, people of all kinds of faiths and backgrounds. And yet there's just so much that felt wrong. And you manifest.
Are we still in terrible pain?
Well, you are, now that the teleportation of a sort has you all emerge from the cloud and the fog. And
we manifest an Equam, wakes up briefly and immediately keels up.
And for that moment, you all see that Equam's eyes, like his wide eyes, are sort of like halfway filled with this shimmering black. And then Equam falls over.
But we no longer feel all these horrible feelings? Not
Well,
right now, at least?
not externally, not imposed on you, but Woo-Woo,
Oh,
do you
praise the
perhaps...
cloud.
Praise. All right, so Woo-Woo praises the cloud. What you find is a plateau. Well, more like a crater, I should say. It has a flat bottom and sheer walls of impossible height. A river, or a waterfall, is pouring down when you look to your right. Water's flowing through. There's patches of grass, some trees, some rocks. This is some kind of a mix of a place. There is a fog that is created by this waterfall over here. The water flows, and to the place where there's a break in the wall that is surrounding the crater, it's here in two spots where the water just pours over and down into nothing beyond. And what catches your eye beyond the natural terrain here, in this weird place of just, you know, these are just things that would be from all over but are just mixed. There's like red grasses and there's a big coniferous tree, like a big sentinel tree over here. And then we get a lark as per the tree, not the bird. But of course there's that Monty Python episode about that. We have a smaller lark over here. And then we have like an acacia. I mean, what are these? But still, you know, all kinds of different things that are mishmashed together. And the water ripples, but it has an odd kind of a ripple to it. Though none of you are close enough to notice anything more than just its disjointed undulations. To your right, or if we consider this north, to your left, a little closer to your south, you see that there are two statues atop glowing pedestals. However, the pedestals are sparking. The pedestals are throwing off energy in a random chaotic pattern. It's kind of arcing out and zapping. What do you do?
Before
I can. Iquam continues dying.
Noted.
Before I go further, Matt, can you just give me control of the knight?
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I'll bend down to Equam, be like, he's taking a nap. I'll open up one of your potions, Equam. What do you have on you?
I have 5 greater and 4 standard healing.
Oh,
right.
Whoops.
I'll flop you over and pour one of your standard healing potions like into your open mouth.
There you go.
Thank you, Matty.
Sure.
Thank God he's okay. Ooh, can you give him a little more juice, maybe? Do you have anything?
Nope, I'm tapped. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna cast healing. Wait, crap! I don't have my Windsor string anymore, do I? I already used it. We haven't had another long rest. I can't be a healing lord. All right, I will cast my 5th level spell slot, Mass Cure Wounds.
Hey.
And everyone will regain 18 points.
You should type mass lure wounds.
I have mass lure wounds and mass curl wounds in mind.
Well, I
Not
guess
sure
also
what those would do.
last cure wounds.
Oh, that would have been smart.
Thank you.
Clever, but I
Thank you very much for the health.
Mass Cure Woods could be interesting. Would it happen? It might offer a blink effect or something. So
No, wait.
nothing is like springing out and attacking. You're just in this weird this circle that has, sand and stone and dark water and light water and grasses and trees from all over. But there are these statues that are atop these crackling pedestals. What would you do?
I'm pretty sure we gotta wreck this crap. We'll break everything. I'm like 99% sure.
That might be the case. I'm gonna walk over to one of these.
No, I don't think so. Here's what we should do. I turn to my backpack and I pull out a whole bunch of Christmas lights.
What are these strange contraptions?
Those are trigonometrics. I recognize those from our home city.
Weird.
They're actually just like glowing bugs on a string.
Oh, never mind. They're just glowing bugs on a
They
string.
look like a fire hazard to me.
One of them.
Can I just get a closer look at this cool, like, crackling energy?
Yeah,
man?
yeah.
It's very cool, by the way, Maddie. I actually haven't seen that before.
Hey, Quam, I'm gonna heal you more.
This is the dream realm, I think. I think the rules are different.
You get 10 hit points.
What happens if I try to dream up like more Christmas decorations around the place?
Nothing seems to occur. This, you know what, June? Like you've practiced this. This reeks of the dream realm, except it's different. It's not even nightmare, because a part of your training you'd have to expose yourself to nightmare forces because you have to understand, right? The yin and the yang, the balance to things. Good dreams and bad. This is dream, but it's sour. It's embittered in a way, and it's so. Everything here is cold, but not physically. Your souls feel cold. The strength, the heat from your passions are draining in this place, as it is it's tainted. This is, as much as dreamscape is natural, this is unnatural dreamscape.
Ugh, this place is gross. I'm gonna decorate it up. Put lights around the place. Why not? What happens?
I mean, that sounds like a good strat. Actually, that sounds like a really good strat. That sounds like the solution to the puzzle.
You want to do what? I'm sorry?
I'm gonna decorate the place. Make it all, solstice.
Okay. So June is gonna go off to do that. Woo Woo, are you doing the same?
Well, Woo-Woo's not super helpful when it comes to that. But you know what Woo-Woo can do? Nothing.
Expert. You have expertise in that
Make
skill.
some pottery that are like Christmassy.
Oh yeah, is there snow anywhere? I want to use my expert sculpting skills with my pottery to make a snowman.
There is snow. However, the snow seems to be at the top of the kind of a landslide, as this is a massive rock, almost like a mountain, like a scale mountain here, as it starts at whatever the base level is, and it's gravelly and rocky, and it rises up. But when you get to the top here, there is some snow packed among the rocks and the gravel up at this 25-foot mark.
Okay, I'm gonna try to make my way over there. Actually, I'm gonna heal Equam again.
Okay.
Equam, you're still maimed, right?
Just barely not bloodied at this point.
All right. Well, you already got that other healing word, right? Oh, the cure wounds.
Yes.
Well,
So
have
between the
enough.
math,
That's all I got.
43.
And now I will make my way over there. Bam.
Okay.
Ikram looks down, looks at the water. You sure you're gonna get across that fine?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just gonna figure it out when I get there.
The water is shallow, about maybe 5 feet deep. Well, it's probably deep to a kobold, but it is very swiftly moving. So, I mean, hopefully you can just hop across, but the water would provide a bit of a challenge to go through.
So can you describe what I'm looking at here, Matty?
Yeah, well, I was going to go to you anyway here, so it's a little too convenient if you ask me. You are seeing a humanoid figure that is in black, in darkness, and it is standing atop this pedestal, and the pedestal is just crackling with an energy. In fact, tell you what, make an Arcana. I know you're not proficient, but you can do this at advantage. You are still a wizard, and you would have had some basics. Excellent. There is a necrotic energy just crackling off of this thing. And, you know, perhaps it is a container that has been ruptured. It's a conduit. It's something. But you are getting this this necrotic, this negative energy style feel from what's sparking out.
And when you say are they dressed in black, like they kind of like the way they appear on the map there, or are they like enshrouded in like swirling dark energy?
No, so this would be as if it was a statue made of like a black metal. It has a shine, almost like the glossy shine to people's eyes, where there's just it composes this thing, this humanoid figure as this glossy blackness that is atop the negative energy.
Right.
But if it's a statue, it doesn't seem to be animated, or at least not yet. It's still standing there atop the energies.
Can I also just make an investigation check as I kind of circle around a bit? I'm looking for any, like, you know, runes or words or, for lack of a better term, secret levers that, like, press here to animate not anything so simple, but stuff that would be interesting on this.
You don't even need to roll. There's nothing that is appearing as a lever or words or...
No words written on it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a basic decorative motif. It's very simple. Perhaps it's a part of the energies and its expression. But there's nothing that seems to be an interaction with the pedestal, the energy, or the statue that's made of shimmering blackness atop it.
All right. I will step away.
Okay.
And report my findings to the crew. Actually, I'm going to quickly, just try and Rary's telepathic bond again. Oh wait, that's actually been broken. Never mind, that's long gone.
Yeah, that was, you know, you've been sailing for a while on the seas.
Yep.
Yeah.
I realized that just now. Never mind. I'm gonna go back and tell everyone what I found.
Sure. Information is shared.
What's the top one if we go to look at the top stats?
Before that, I need all of you to make another wisdom saving throw.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Was this a magical effect, Matty?
I will. Yeah, I'll say this is magical, so you can have advantage on this.
Alright, 15 either way. But...
Okay. All right. So this is going to be. We'll wait for June to come back and can roll. However, Equam, you have had enough of this, dare I say, baloney. Oh, I said it. I'm sorry. This... Is this what it's all come to? I missed a freaking nap, and you are angry. You just got beat up. You got used for a portal you didn't even know you had inside you. But there it is, and other people are using your portal, not even giving you like a head pat for it, let alone anything else. You know, those people of Earth probably have something right, let alone, you know what? Those turtles had the right attitude, and also, screw those turtles for letting you fall off a cliff. Why don't they have proper safety procedures? And Equam, you just, your eyes are fully dark now, and Woo Woo, your eyes are half darkened.
No.
As you have fallen behind here. Actually, what I can do is until Farku comes back, I believe I can open up and roll on behalf of... Where is June? I do not see June. Okay. I can't scroll. Oh, there we go. Ah, thank you. Oh, and June's eyes also darken more. But Equam, you know, you just fricka-fracka, bricka-bracka, and you, I mean, just, you're cussing into Tabaxi. Everyone knows that you're cussing. But, you know, whatever. And just this burst off of you. And all of you, by Equam, just get this negative vibe. Just like a chill up your spine. Like someone just yelled at you and you're like, oh. And you take it personally.
Not bad vibes.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely bad vibes. Oh, and no. As the burst goes off of Equam, the figures on both the pedestals stir. And they go from just sort of a generic manifest, like in video games terms, they'd be like T-posing in a generic pose. And they kind of slouch, like they're now under their own power and weight. And
I know exactly the thing that you're...
And they come up. The things for a second here grow quiet. And the southern statue, the one that is in the rippling, scintillating darkness, you simply hear in a haunting tone, "Silent night." And now, from the north, in response, white, light, brightness, for a moment, radiance. But in that same voice. And now the light, now that you see it, it has a brightness, but it's cold. It's not a warm light. It's brightness without effect, without anything behind it. And you hear, "Holy night," in response. And now we roll into initiative.
Well, don't worry, guys. I got a strat for this. The first time this has ever been effective. Yeah, I initiated.
Hey.
Come on, slow statues.
Was this where you started for this adventure? Was that excellent Silent Night and Holy Night?
No. I did not.
That's how we do DnD Time adventures. We come up with something like that, and then it's like, all right, how do we get to this place we want to get by the end of the adventure?
I will not at the end of this because I think we'll be pushing a time limit, but I can reveal stuff to you if you want to get the director's commentary behind the scenes.
I would love to.
Director's cut.
Yeah. So then we have, I'm going to roll 2d20s, one for the Silent Night and one for the Holy Night.
Matty, would you say that their voices are haunting?
Yeah, this is, like, you would hear something rippling in your dreams or from a distance, even though they're not that far. But also, they're not that far, but they sound far away. But also, it's like a whisper. It's so... like an unpleasant ASMR. Oh, Sheeps, I see you out there. This is your nightmare. This is an unpleasant ASMR experience that you're getting from these two. However, these two are probably almost going last here, given our...
Given how awesome we all are.
Well, except for Kringle. So, Kringle, you're not last. You are strategic. You're strategically placed. For maximum options.
That's exactly where I was actually hoping to end up, so it's great.
So the order of initiative is going to be June, who's quick on the draw. Then we have Woo Woo. Then we're going to go to Equam. Then I get to do something. Then I get to do something again.
I don't like those.
And then we have Kringle, who is the cleanup caster.
let's skip those fourth and fifth ones, and then we'll do the rest of them.
That would make combat pretty streamlined. That's not a bad idea. Okay. So, June, you're up. You're getting a very creepy vibe from these two that have animated. You can react and do something. I will say, by the way, a quick, as this is coming to battle, it would seem, the light water is 5 feet deep, and the dark water is 20 feet deep. The green areas are grass. Woo-woo being small, you can stand in it. Medium characters would have to like crouch or crawl to get cover. It is also dim light in there. There is an area of fog inside the gray that is 15 feet high and within the borders as shown on the map, and it would act as per the fog cloud spell. There is a craggy, like a rock, like spur, an upcoming that juts 10 feet above the surface of the deep water. Climbable, and it's kind of a sheer thing. And then you have this like gravel pile or something that starts at, it goes up from the base level at 5, 10, 15, etc. Now, that would count as natural difficult terrain. And that's even if you're going down. If you're going up, it's going to take not double but quadruple movement to go up, because you're fighting to go up and to keep your footing under the rocks and gravel. And then lastly, the area has it's a direction light, but there's no real sun. And I'll draw your eyes over to where I pinged. So there's a light source somewhere, but the shadows are going west to east. And I didn't want to show the shadows on here, but if there is a height indicated on something, for example, here's a tree that is 30 feet high. So there is going to be a dim light shadow that is going to go 6 squares off of that circle. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is that 30 feet just from base, or 30 feet from the 5 that it's on?
It would go off of the edge. So this would be 5, 10, 15, 20. So the shadow would end 5 feet into the water here from that tree. If a dim light shadow crosses another shadow, then you get effectively darkness. So if a shadow is going across the grass, that area is dark. I will say that each of you also are producing a similar shadow 1 block to your would be 1 block to your right from how this is oriented, as you have a shadow cast off of this light. So if you have dim light stuff, cover stuff, swimming stuff, climbing stuff, this should be a playground for you. Do you have any questions on the battlefield conditions? Oh, the water, by the way, I'm sorry, again, the water is moving swiftly, so it's not just an easy, if you go in, it's not just going to be an easy cross.
Alright, easy. I'm gonna do a running jump over this water.
Okay.
Alright, is that alright? Over there?
I'm gonna presume you have more than a 5 strength score.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you hop. It's swiftly moving, but you get a little hop over it, and then what?
Stick the landing, do a tumble roll into this gravel part area, take the dash action. And I'm gonna use my 9th level monk movement to run up the tree to the top.
Okay.
And my turn here, looking over there, and like as I'm running around the tree,
yes,
I'll have like a trail of lights that will I'll leave on the tree.
Okay.
As I get to the top. You know?
Sure. So if during other people's turns, if you want to put like a couple multicolored dots on the outside of the tree, then that could be a fun cosmetic. All right. So June is in position. Now we come to Woo Woo. Woo Woo, what you do?
Woo Woo says, "Oh, I'm getting a little pissed, but your singing's terrible. I don't want to hear it." and Woo is going to cast a spell. He's going to cast the spell Warding Wind, not Larding Wind, but actually Warding Wind.
Okay.
Which, in a 10-foot radius around me, deafens me and the other creatures around me.
Okay.
So we all deaf now, at least while you're within my area. And then I will use my other wild shape, my last one of the day, to transform into an Ankylosaurus.
Ooh. All right.
Do so as a bonus action because I'm cool. That's why I'm cool. But yeah, that's what I do.
All right. You place that anywhere off of your square that you'd like to be, and I'm going to move Woo Woo off to the side. And boom.
And actually, I'm sorry. And then I will charge with my Ankylosaurus.
Roar.
Low. I would say speed, but he's not.
Yeah. you
Actually,
lumber.
You know what? Mm-hmm. I will stay within 10 feet of my allies to deafen.
Okay, sure.
Because I retain that feature.
All right. Now we come down to Equam. Equam, you're upset. This doesn't seem to have a mechanical benefit or detriment at the moment. Besides a roleplay prompt, you're welcome to lean into it. However, we're on your initiative. You have your turn. What would you like to do?
Equam just stalks up next to the toy soldier and just glaring at this statue, pulls out his bow and just shoots it.
Okay. So you are going to
shoot that guy. Shooting this statue down here at the south.
Okay. If you do so, you're going to have to shoot through Woo Woo's Warding Wind.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
And you'll have disadvantage because the winds whipping around Woo Woo are willy dangerous.
Because I have advantage, so it just cancels out.
Sure. Okay, just a straight up shot.
Yes.
You already rolled it. Okay, 23 still hits. So Equam, you're just that good. You correct for the wind coming off the Ankylosaurus, and you strike. You strike the Silent Knight.
Now, question.
Okay.
Do I have both advantage and disadvantage, and thus, because I have advantage, have sneak attack, or is it just the normal damage for the attack?
What
you have
kind of
disadvantage
rogue
from any source? Usually, you don't get.
Well, no, you don't have either. If you would have both, you're considered to have neither.
Yeah, so
okay.
This is a regular.
Sneak attack from any other.
Okay.
So,
are you an assassin rogue?
Yes.
So because you are going before they act, you get your sneak attack, right?
But I would have disadvantage on it because of the warding ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the question's about sneak attack. Right?
Does your but your class would
Yes.
give you advantage otherwise?
Yes.
Yes. Unless it's something like I don't know, like a crit or something, we're gonna stick with it's a straight up shot then.
Okay.
All right, so 10 piercing.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Your arrow finds home and it does, and this thing doesn't. Your arrow sunk in, but you're not getting any sort of emotion from it.
And then I'm going to go into the grass and crouch and try to hide as a bonus action.
Okay. For this, I'm going to consider you to be prone if you want to get the advantages of cover. So that would use half your movement to stand up unless you have anything in particular, being a rogue or a tabaxi, to negate that. But if you want the cover, you have to actually get down. Woo was the exception because he's already 2 foot and change. All right. Now I get to act. Holy Knight steps down from the pedestal and
good luck, June.
Actually, do I get a fun... You are up in a tree, and you are decorating it. Oh, actually, I do. So as a he's going to hop down 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 and is going to be at the rubble pile as a bonus action in a blink just disappears and in what sounds like 1,000 voices just like complaining and begrudging it takes a begrudging step up into the tree beside you and manifests. And as you two are sharing the same tree, both of you are going to be considered to be squeezing. So that would normally give him disadvantage on the attack. Though this is with squeezing, attacks would have advantage on you, so this is going to cancel out, and he's going to make normal attacks. And so he is going to open up as his greatsword just comes down and is trying to slash at you here, and is going to make 2 attacks with his greatsword, and this is going to be a 21 and a crit. And so
those both hit.
Both of them are going to So if you have something to trigger, the first one's going to hit on a 20.
All right. No.
Okay.
I was gonna be like, I'm gonna catch it with between my hands as it comes down, and it gets hit straight in the face.
All right. The Holy Knight's sword comes down and deals 9 slashing damage to you. And then where the cut was made, radiant light beams from his holy face. And by that I mean beams from your injury. And your body explodes. In
End of sentence.
an additional
Wait for the
12
sentence to end.
radiant damage. And now the critical.
Ugh.
The slashing damage is going to be 19. And you're going to be smitten with Holy Light for 28 radiant damage.
All right. That would have killed me, but I have relentless endurance. I get back up.
Hey,
Step 1.
you got that focus, Sash.
You knock me down, you up again.
Don't Dream Monks have a damage mitigation ability? I thought they did.
They would if I were a drink monk.
Oh wait, I kept thinking that you were a Dream Monk. No, you said wave open hand. Wait, did you change it at the last moment, or did I misread that?
No, that's my character. I've always been an open hand monk. It's just I've been acting like a dream monk.
Oh, you had such a convincing performance. You had your DM fooled.
Yeah, I was gonna say it worked out.
All right.
So good, I even got the
Yeah, I'm kind of. Well, good job on you.
That's why I was like, yeah, you guys handle the dream thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You handle that whole thing.
Here I was. I'm like, yeah, I'm totally leaning into him here, and I actually was calling your bluff. So the fact you weren't making the checks was actually completely in roleplay, and you're absolved of any failures. Okay, now that Holy Knight went, Silent Knight goes. And Silent Knight,
Let's hope he doesn't do that again.
Silent Knight is going to hop down and move. Let's see. Is going to move here. Is going to look at all of you. And then behind the gnome is, oh no, not behind the gnome. Never mind. What is he gonna do? Okay. So no, not behind the gnome, I'm sorry. Rather, beside the gnome, this is actually going to be on top of your tiny servant. I'm going to put him here, though, for sake of layering. It would be really weird.
Cool.
He disappears. Oh, yes. He disappears as he enters Woo Woo's shadow and reappears in your shadow, Kringle. And as Silent Night draws up from your shadow, a spiked chain extends between his hands, and he goes for like a groat, and
oh Jesus!
And is going to be making several attacks against you.
Not Jesus, Pete. This is the Holy Night, or this is the
Silent Night. And this is going to be. Oh wow. I presume your AC is not 10, correct?
My armor class is 12.
Okay, so it comes up, and maybe he had an idea in mind and went for like the normal height, ended up missing the first loop, coming back down and tags you with the second before swinging a part of the spiked chain around, and you end up like jumping as he went too high. He corrected for the mid and he tried to go low, but you ended up and so you are going to be hit for you're going to be hit for
all right.
Pardon, 12 slashing damage, and now I need you to make a dexterity save, please. Nice. Okay. So this is let me just double check something. I want to make sure that this is okay. So what you there's a flash of that same necrotic energy that goes through the chain, but the part that it was channeling through, you managed to you do a little wiggle in your step, and you dodge it as for a second part of the chain was suffused with necrotic energy.
Oh boy.
And we're now down to Kringle. Kringle, you were hit by this chain. It's not actually like garroting you, but he got a slash in on you. You managed to get out of the way of the necrotic energy pouring through it. What are you doing? He is next to you atop your tiny servant. Not like on it, but
step back and provoke an opportunity attack, I suppose.
All right, he will take it. Oh, wow. Nimble Kringle is what they called you in college. All right.
Apparently. Kringle is going to... Yeah, I'll use my action to control my guy here and step him forward.
Okay.
And have him do a couple attacks. I'm going to use my bonus action up my tiny servant attack, and I'm going to use my movement to... I was here, so 1, 2... 3, 4, 5. I'm like Woo Woo, right? Where I can just.
Oh yeah. You're small. That's fine. Yeah. You can just get the benefits.
My tiny servant just jumps and probably hits him in a sensitive area.
Yeah, you hit the sensitive area. This man, this otherwise mundane ceramic coffee mug of Rogers is putting in work here.
And then with my telekinesis, Toy Knight. Smack. Oh, to GM layer.
Oh, that's fine. Neither of those attacks are going to hit, though.
Okay.
It in turn kind of dodges. Anything else from you, Kringle? Otherwise, we're going back up to June.
I am done.
All right, June, you're this nimble monk. This person in plate armor with a great sword, like teleported up and is maintaining balance. And here we have like a classic like wire fu kung fu fight in a tree. I mean, you could disengage or whatever, but you know this unexpected presence in the tree is here. You are squeezing right now. What would you like to do?
Yeah,
Woo was next.
Went like, "Omae wa mou shinjineru," and teleported behind me. Huh, nothing personal, kid. And I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
So Shin, he's just like, "Ah, ah, ah." I'm bleeding. Papa, please. I like clutched my little snowman sticker given to me by my father, and like we flash back to the time we went to the wrestling championship together and like saw my first show that inspired me on my journey. And I reached out to him in the dream realm as he trained me when I was little as an actual dream monk. And I'd be like, Daddy, save me, please. And I'll like start falling out of the tree. I'll clutch my family heirloom, the yo-yo, and reverse myself with my orcish endurance. All right. I'm look back and turn, jumping into the air at this dude. Would there be any way to like move down the tree so I'm not squeezing, since I can like walk on the walls or with my key balance?
You can like dip over the side of the branch. You're not technically exiting melee, as you kind of do a whoop 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 around the trunk and tag him as you're going around.
All right. So as I've always been told, footwork has been key by my dad. I'm reminded by that moment. He tripped, and instead of falling, when I, like move back out of the tree, it's almost like I lost balance for a sec. But then I'm standing right there on the edge, like I have like spider feet, keeping myself attached through my key. I will swing my yo-yo around, and you know how like you always think you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this super cool move in like real life, but you're never able to do it, like you're dreaming about it. Well, since we're in the dream realm, I can actually use my yo-yo how I want to.
All right, and so you're going around the tree and you're tagging him with your yo-yo as you're doing that.
Yes, so I'm gonna do some real, actual like sick yo-yo moves at him.
All right, roll those sick yo-yo moves.
Battle cry yo-yo.
Unfortunately, that first one is gonna miss. The second one will hit.
Alright, like wrap around him, smack him in the face. I'm gonna flurry of blood.
All right, go ahead and do so.
All right, he's got to make a con save for that one. DC 17 as I use my stunning strike.
Yeah. All right. This is going to be... All right, the figure resists your key. Like your key, the memories of your father are fueling your strikes, and you impact the armor of this knight that shouldn't be in a tree, and just you pour yourself into this, and this just empty, hollow thing just absorbs the hit with no reaction.
But I'm not done. I shall knock him out of the tree. With the flurry of blows, open hand technique, my own style that I picked up from living in the hood.
The first impacts the armor, but your palm slides off. 13's not going to be enough, and your other flurry, you get 2 if I recall, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. And now I'll try the stunning strike as my last...
Okay. And so you need another con from me.
Okay, and with the open hand technique, I'll fling him, throw him off of the tree, and then regain my stance on the top.
All right. So your second stunning strike does impact, and you just set up this key reverberation that this stoic, glimmering knight, but not one of friendly heroics, one of almost a protector of, a validator of grudges, and someone who holds some sort of respect or protection for these poor these poor feelings of despair. Is stunned. So there you go.
Right. That was not cool, bro. I'll spit at him as he falls out of the tree. Take any damage?
Does he fall out of the tree? On a stun, I don't think you fall prone, do you?
No, open hand technique. I can push him 15 feet away.
Oh, shoot. Oh, jeez, did you, like, blow through, like, 4 key on this?
No, it's just part of the.
Oh, that's part of... Oh, my
blows.
gosh. Oh, never mind. Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, so he is not immune to force movement, so sure. You push him down, and he falls. You were 30 feet up. We'll give you a little benefit of the doubt here if you want him to fall a little bit further. I don't know if mechanic can make too much of a difference. And he's going to fall and be prone.
And stunned.
Prone and stunned.
5.
And he's... Oof.
Get up.
All right. The armor just gives a clang, which, you know what? Even though that's damage, there's something just not satisfying about this at all. And even in that sense, it's almost robbing you. Like, not that you can't be excited, but there's just something... Still something pulling at you, June. All right, now we go to Woo-Woo-Asaurus.
Ruru, Woo says roar.
Roar.
And then I'm gonna move to here. And
Okay.
quick question: so this diagram up in the corner here is showing that the shadows fall this way.
Yeah,
correct?
the shadows
In the direction
move.
of my arrow?
Yeah, exactly like your arrow. They go in that direction, the height of whatever an object is that's casting it.
I will move to there then, and I will ready my action for when the knight attacks an ally. I will curbludgeon them with with my Ankylosaurus tail.
Then we're gonna go down to our cat in the brush here, Equam. Equam, what are you doing?
Equam is going to get up, so that's 15.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's... Oh. So
The brush is difficult
terrain.
terrain itself, yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, so it's...
okay, I would have moved here.
Okay.
Okay, so it's very difficult to move anywhere.
Sorry,
And...
I'm protecting you, I promise.
Equam will start moving in the direction of the silent night, but not to get very far.
Okay. Gotcha.
Mm.
Do you want to drop again, or are you standing in the grass?
Don't forget you can drink potions as a bonus action in D&D.
In D&D time, you certainly can.
So, if I'm remembering correctly, the Shadow Knight is on top of the tiny servant.
Correct. The Shadow Knight is standing astride the tiny servant, who went up and cupped his jingle bells.
I guess I will feline agility up into there and give the Silent Knight a good stabbing.
Okay. Go ahead and roll stabity. That will stab.
And
Now, in this case, right, it's the sneak attack, right?
yes.
Yeah, there's an ally.
For the ally. So 31 points of stabby.
All right. So you feline it. You jump from the brush, you land, and you come up with your rapier, and you certainly leave a mark on the Silent Knight. So that was Equam. Now I'm over to the Holy Knight. The Holy Knight is stunned, and I need to roll to see if I'm not stunned against your save, if I'm not mistaken. Again.
I think it's until the end of my next turn.
Oh, it's just until. Oh, jeez. Oh, okay. Then never mind. He's just gonna quiver. Apparently. Well, he's not gonna quiver. There's actually no emotion being shown, but just lays there. All right. And so by Holy Knight, I clearly meant my Silent Knight. Is going to. Bother. All right, my Silent Knight is going to disengage, and is going to move here. And June,
As a request,
oh,
point of order. I see him going toward June. I did have a ready to action, not just an opportunity attack.
yes, but I think you're looking for an attack, not a move.
Well, when he went, yeah, I guess I phrased that poorly. The intent was when he went to go threaten one of my allies.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was thinking about an attack. So he's gonna move over. So June, you're shouting about your father. You've decorated this tree. You've thrown the holy night from it, and there's a disengage, a move, and then a well, you know. Do I get that cool thing? Let me double check.
I look down at my robes and I'm like, ah, damn it! My grandmama made this for me! How dare!
Okay, the 30 feet, he would have moved diagonally off the disengage here, which would put him in just the shadow of the bottom of the gravel pile, at which point, June... back in the tree, rising from the shadow and the trunk, is the Silent Knight. However, he cannot attack you. But it just rises up out of the shadow next to you and stares at you. We're now over to Kringle. Kringle, what are you doing?
Kringle's gonna
Then
do
June.
a real
Actually, would there be shadows there? Because the tree is lit up by Christmas light.
I don't think Christmas lights alone would be enough to drive the shadow. It's a good question, though.
I respect it. Now, it appears that they actually don't have any auditory abilities that are affecting people, correct? Actually, I wouldn't know.
It would see. Yeah, you wouldn't know. So no one who's been exposed is clutching their ears, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Okay.
Okay.
My tiny servant, I telepathically command it to walk where I'm sending it right now.
Okay.
This is not a trivial jump for the tiny servant. Can it attempt to try and jump the gap?
Yeah. What's its strength score?
4.
4?
Can it just make a check to see if it can pull itself together for it, or does it automatically fail?
I'll tell you what. Roll a d5, and if it's a 5, it was a 5-foot gap, and it'll fall in. Otherwise, you'll make it. So you have most of a chance. There you go. All right. So apparently this was a little pinch, or it got a good extra boost, and was able to leap 3 feet. Now to it, it just jumped the Mississippi River to this little coffee mug. But it goes over, and it lands on the other side safely.
It's a real close zoom on that in the action movie, so
yeah.
it looks a lot more heroic.
Yeah, and it's an up angle.
It jumps.
The camera zooms in on the sum,
and I believe it can get to. I believe 1, 2, 3. I can get to there.
Okay.
And then Kringle's gonna do some real classic wizard stuff that he hasn't done yet, which is toss a fireball over roundabout here. And in such a way so as to not get June, but to get these two guys that are next to him. Oh wait, the trees can throwing me off. They're not where they are.
Yeah, they're back stacked on each other effectively. So if you're hitting one, you're going to be hitting both. So it's up to you if you want to try and catch June in it. Maybe you trust in his reflexes to mitigate damage.
I trust his reflexes to mitigate damage, but he's in a rough spot, so I ain't gonna play him like that. But there's no way to do it such that it wouldn't get.
No, they're so close together.
Okay.
We've been having this tangle.
Wait, what are you talking about? Fireball?
Yeah, he wants to fireball, but they're both they're squeezing in the same square pretty much.
Well, didn't he throw the Holy Knight out of the tree?
If you want to hit the Holy Knight, yeah, that's fine. But the Silent Knight would
there's no
be...
reason to do it. No. If I could get both of them without getting June, that's what I want to do.
No, but it's up to you. Or if June's like, yeah, do it, or something, then
Come on, come on. Oh yeah, my sticker is pound and sound. So when you hit it, this is a catchphrase from my favorite action hero. It's like, come on,
All right.
chill out.
Kringle, are you?
If you insist. Oh, all right. I'll do it.
They call him.
All right.
Killer.
So I believe the stunned person doesn't even get a dex save. June, though, you know, much like the movie The Predator, like you open your shirt and you even put a cut across so the fire can get deeper in your body.
Counts for Butcher Pete, right?
Yeah, I suppose so here.
One more kill of the year.
You're squeezing in that one last one. This is 17 fire damage. And so the Holy Knight is going to be taking that, and the Silent Knight. Let's find out. These monsters actually have saves.
Fire.
Oh, is it 20 fire?
Yes.
17 surpasses, correct?
That exactly meets.
Okay. So then it is going to. All right. So it kind of like it ducks out of the way and is it's like June is is there and is taunting it, and this thing gets out of the way so the fireball like courses over June, but it just spins barely out, still holding onto the branch or the trunk.
It uses my body as cover.
Yeah, it flips behind you and like it's not restraining you, but it's like it's holding you and then it lets go. But anyway, all right, so Kringle, as you do that, there's a distant voice that's coming through, but it sounds it sounds icy. It sounds kind of like ting, 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 like I don't know. It's distant, very cold, crackly. There's usually no PvP in the lands of DnD Time, but the Kringle I'm willing to make an exception because we're in the dream world. Get them! As a weird, remote, icy voice of Barth'l'mew shouts out and encourages you. June, are you unconscious?
Yeah, I'm down.
You are down, and you're gonna fall from the tree. And
Well, here it goes, boys.
Parker, why'd you...
Well, falling can't kill him.
oh yeah. Okay. However, this is gonna be a hit, and you're already unconscious, so this is gonna be 2 failed death saves as you fall.
It's one.
Oh,
it's just damage, right? It's not critical.
oh no, yeah, it's not a hit. Never mind. Yeah. I'm smart. I am pro DM. Okay.
I'm so ready for this, Parker.
All right. So this is that was Kringle. Although Kringle, for this, you are gonna take 4 points of ice damage as Barth'l'mew's distant cold voice forms a little icicle off your earlobe.
Okay.
But he's deaf. He can't hear.
That's fair.
Yeah, but this was a wet willy into his brain. So you tried, but unfortunately, Barth'l'mew will always find a way to circumnavigate the players because the players circumnavigate him all the time too.
Basically, I didn't hear that there's no PvP in DnD Time, but I did take the damage.
Well, no, this would have been like right in your noggin. Like he would have told you this.
Yeah, I'm just giving her.
Oh, gotcha. It's just suddenly cold out of nowhere. Yeah. All right, now we're back up to June. June, what are you doing?
All right, it's time to make a death save.
Death save. How? Oh no, that's a 9. We're down. We're down to 2 death, 2 failed. Woo woo. What do?
What do the woo woo do? Do.
Well,
The Holy Knight is stirring.
yeah. Well, I can't really do any. I'm gonna move to here, and I'm gonna drop my whatchamahoosit, my aura.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop that spell completely.
Okay.
It's gone now. Oh, I guess it's still there for some reason. All right, and then I will No, I can't actually. I can't help you.
But you think about it.
I can't. It's a bonus action to transform back into Woo Woo from Wild Shape, and it's a bonus action. It's the only healing spell I have with a range to get to you. So I cannot heal you this turn. As much as I do want to heal you, I cannot.
All right.
So instead, I will I'll just keep that spell up. Nah, screw it. I'll let it drop. And I will just
Holy Knight
here
still
instead.
Okay, you don't need to worry about the water as an Ankylosaurus.
Yeah, I just can't get any further. So that's 30 feet. I will ready my action to attack one that appears to be threatening my allies in any way.
All right.
Oh, God.
Equam, we're over to you. There is technically not an ally next to Holy Knight. Holy Knight is prone, which would be a disadvantage on range shots anyway if you wanted to take a range shot. If you wanted to try and shoot Silent Knight, I would give Silent Knight cover because he's kind of like in and around a bunch of branches on a tree. What would you like to do here?
Let's see.
Holy Knight is prone on the ground for a melee, though. That would give you advantage if you can get to him.
Let's see. How far is he? Okay.
Oh, God.
I will bonus action dash up to him.
Okay.
And then stab him with the rapier.
Okay.
Roar.
And that was with advantage?
Yeah, so
let's
go,
fishing.
yeah, crit fish, exactly.
Oh,
21 or
exactly the
21?
same.
All right. So this is 28 more damage on my Holy Knight?
Yes.
All right.
A whelming 28 damage.
Okay. You pierce the knight, but the knight doesn't make any sort of pain. You are like feeling resistance, like it is stabbing through something, but okay. That was your turn.
Action bonus action move. That's it.
Okay. Now it is Holy Knight's turn. Holy Knight is going to stand up, is going to look at you, Equam, and is also gonna look down at June. And is going to try and finish off June with an attack.
Jesus. Well, rip.
And June, this is going to be an advantage. All right, June. You are unconscious. You've hit every branch on the way down. Even though you're unconscious, like, your eye just opens a moment and you see Holy Knight gleaming with that cold light. Raise the great sword above you and get ready to put you down. And what I would like you to do, June, is I would like you to roll a d20. And you may get this roll at inspiration. Well, at advantage, I mean.
It's so cold.
All right. So, June, as you look up, you say it's so cold, and the blade comes down, and for a moment, you see your father appear above you, and just sort of like, June, I'll save you. And your soul kind of like he draws your soul up in this moment, and you don't feel the final blow as your father has taken your soul from your body, though your body does. And then, with the momentum, the greatsword's gonna come up out of June, and I'm gonna try and thwack at you here, Catboy.
We got him, Pete.
Does an 18 hit you?
Yes.
Doesn't feel good to say.
All right. So you're going to take 11 slashing and 14 radiant damage.
12 damage.
All right. You dodge out of the way, but it like shaves off some fuzz and skin off your arm as you try and get out of the way. All right. That was Holy Knight. Silent Knight goes. Stands, so disappears into the shadow of the tree and comes up in the shadow of Equam. And is going to try and slash at you with the chain.
Now, as a point of order, would the knight take all 3 attacks, even if the first one knocks him unconscious?
Wait, what?
Would the knight use all 3 of their attacks on Equam, even if the first one knocked him unconscious?
Holy Knight only has 2 attacks. Silent Knight gets 3.
No, I meant Silent Knight. Is Silent Knight gonna use all 3 attacks on Equam, no matter what?
Oh.
Or Silent Knight redirects some at
No, this would be redirected. I'm trying to be concise about things, though. But I presume a 20 hits? Because there's a rider on some of these as well. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that. I'm familiar with the basics of this monster. Oh.
And you're going to take 13 points of slashing damage. And I need you to make a dex save, Equam. Oh no, Equam. You are going to be taking an additional 37 necrotic damage.
Are up there with the iron golems.
As the chain just necrotic energy courses through you.
Oof.
Are you still conscious?
No, because that wouldn't have been half damage on save.
Okay. This.
Yeah, but does that do half or no damage?
Yeah, is that half on save or none on save?
None. No damage on save. It's an all or nothing.
Okay, then I am unconscious.
Okay. In which case, the chain is going to strike down twice more on your unconscious body, and is going to be getting crits on both. And you see Equam slash down as Silent Knight. And then Silent Knight turns towards Woo Woo and Kringle, and Holy Knight, drawing the blade, the helmeted head looks up at the two of you as well. Kringle?
Kringle is going to start off here by casting slow on these two fools.
Okay. Is that a dex save?
It is a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save?
Right. No, it's a dexterity saving throw. Oh, no, a wisdom saving throw. Yeah.
Okay. So, Holy Knight. This is Holy Knight's.
Pretty good at that.
17. Unfortunately, that meets your...
That matches.
All right. However, I'm sorry, that was Holy Knight. Silent Knight, however, I don't believe has any... Nope. This is just going to be a... All right. You do slow Silent Knight.
It's good.
We'll take it.
And Kringle just kind of speaks out. This seems like an emergency. And Tiny Servant runs over to here. And you see Tiny Servant just jump up and then fall downwards at full force with its cup side down so as to smash the crystal it's been carrying all this time for whatever purpose these emergency crystals were given.
Okay.
In the hopes that something happens there. I don't know what that dude.
Tiny servant shatters a crystal in the throat of Equam, assuring that even if he comes alive again, he'll be choking on broken glass. And I'm just... Yeah, Equam, your eyes fly open, then suddenly...
As intended.
That's what we wanted right there.
All right, so the crystal is you wanted it in Equam or June?
I was going for June.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sure.
No.
we're
Fingal
both,
already fireballed me.
They're
He's
both
going
dead.
for Equam.
I was going for June.
They're both 100% dead, Pete.
yeah,
All right.
we're
Well,
both
it's
we're both all dead, not mostly dead.
Yeah.
You can only go
Alright,
through our
sure.
pockets
I'll
and
go.
look for loose change.
I'll go for. I think he goes for June because he feels bad. By that, I go for June because
Okay.
I feel bad.
All right. June, you are with your father walking through through your house. There's the smell of the food that you really loved as a kid. All the struggle and the pain and all the glory of spending solstices with your family in the Slumbering Spine Mountains. And here, Grandpa, and you're even seeing great grandpa, and there's just generations of your family that are here, and they're all welcoming you, June, to the dinner table. And then in a moment, June, you are encased in a crystal and pulled away from this scene, from your family that has been welcoming you to this ancestral solstice table. And with the feeling of pop rocks caught in your throat, your eyes fly open. Well, it seems that this was just in time because you actually go next in initiative after Kringle. Although, Kringle, is there anything else that you wish to do?
No.
All right, June.
Kringle got fireball.
June, you can spend any hit dice you have right now to come back with whatever you get, or however many you want to spend. But go ahead and roll the hit die you want to spend, and this is what you get for coming back in an emergency. Hey, that's red and green. I'm seeing a lot of Christmas colors here, everyone.
In the meadow, we can build a snowman.
You rolled one more than we had.
It's okay. The last one was at one, so we throw that one away, and it's not so bad.
All right, so you get 52 hit points back. You are prone. You'll have to use half movement unless you do something, unless you have a weird kip up. But you're prone, and it seems that neither Silent Night nor Holy Night are noticing you in this moment.
Alright. Time to squads back together. Find it out from my homies.
You're standing?
Teleport behind.
Okay.
I'll stand up, teleport behind. Not teleport, but I'll move behind.
Sure.
This boy. My one more.
Holy Knight's helmeted head just kind of goes and you get a shine as he notices you move, and then you're going to unleash a flurry of blows. All right, get her done. Let me see what you got. Hit.
Ooh, all right. Can I starting strike?
Oh. Hey, I mean, if you're going to blow your key, this is the time to do so. Let me double check if he had a special bonus. Yes. This is the one that did. Will not be stunned. Seems to reject. However, we'll take that damage. Okay, I got the damage from that. Absolutely hits.
Fucking
My goodness.
Another one. I'll strike for the knees with a kick.
Oh, actually, hang on. You have a plus 10. All right. So June, as this happens, you're so close. You know, your guidance to hit that vital area. You know, you remember your training, and in this moment, because you're thinking of your father, your father's dream self sort of manifests and is like reaching forward to like guide your hand, and then he just sort of like slaps you on the head and says, "To the left!" And then you're correct. You actually crit on a 19 with the invocation of your father.
Woo!
As you've been filled
2d6 because I'm as savage boy.
You've been filled with the feeling of a bond, of family, of warm times, and so this is going to be. What's your?
Let me show you how my mama taught me how to fight.
All right, and are you going to stun again or flurry?
Yep, I'm gonna stun again. See if I get it in that.
Second stun attack will absolutely save.
I'm not done yet, sir.
All right, roll him.
Flurry of blows. I'm gonna knock him prone.
All right, so you do hit on that.
One more stun. Come on, you just need to get through.
And try one more stun.
How many key points do you have left?
I have 3 key points left.
And saves against the stun.
And did you flurry there, or just your normal martial art?
It's a flurry, bro.
And another hit.
And my last stun.
All right.
I give you all.
You dent his armor, though he is still standing. So June miraculously rises. For a moment, all of you saw this manifestation of an older man who kind of looks like June, but then quickly disappears. We now come down to Woo Woo.
Didn't you go for another stunning strike?
Yeah, my last.
Oh,
stun.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we gotta give him a chance.
Oh, yeah.
In case he gets stunned.
No, rejected.
Oh. Such rolls.
All right.
Woo Woo.
Gonna move
Uh-huh.
to here.
Yep.
Just move right up to this dude,
Okay.
and we'll ready a goddamned attack for if any of them basically either. Can I give 2 conditions? 1, an ally moves to within 5 feet of Spooky Man, slow guy. 2, if an ally doesn't do that, basically, if Equam's dead.
Yeah.
So
okay.
if someone else moves, you're gonna hit the Silent Knight?
No, I'm just gonna murder the Holy Knight.
Oh, sure. All right.
He's not slowed. All right, I've got advantage because June's there and I've had the tactic.
Okay.
18.
18 does. All right.
Terrible.
So he comes up and with gauntleted hands, like right after rejecting the stunning strike, he turns and just, but you do crumple the armor on his forearm, so you just manage to get through his AC and deal him damage.
Oh jeez. All right. Well, 10
Another
bludgeoning
straight
damage.
save.
And he's gonna roll a
Oh,
strength
he's
saving
already
throw.
prone.
Oh,
He's already prone.
Never mind. All right, that's
Yep.
all he got.
And he has no reaction, too.
Okay.
All right, so it's oh my God. Actually, you know what? I will. Oh, I'm gonna move to right here.
Okay. Silent Knight is gonna take a.
Because he's slowed.
That's right.
But he's currently within my reach still.
All right. Now we're going to go then to, Equam. Equam, you're getting the rest that you so desperately sought.
Brutal.
You actually feel comfortable. Like you hear like a cosmic purring all around you, gentle soothing sounds and a distant warmth, but still flows through you. You are dead, but you're getting a nice fluffy effect.
It's like a pleasant sort of dead.
Holy Knight is stunned. Silent Knight is not stunned. Silent, but is slowed, which means I get
Wait. No one's stunned.
Oh no, I'm not. No, I'm sorry. Prone. So Holy Knight is actually going to stand up.
Sorry, fuck you.
and is going to turn to June and doesn't say anything, but there's just a negativity pouring off of Holy Knight, and is going to swing twice on you. And each swing, this is going to be a... Does a 16 hit you?
Yes, it hits.
All right, both are going to hit. So the first is going to be...
He's got a lot of health, actually.
Come on, Silent Mac.
11
the sooner
slashing.
we do this, the sooner I go home. Ooh.
And is
All right,
going to smite you with radiant damage for another 11. And then the second hit is going to deal slashing damage of 8. And you're going to get smitten again with painful radiant energy for 13 more damage.
All right, I'm down to 9.
All right, now it is Silent Knight's turn, but Silent Knight is slowed and can only take a bonus or a standard, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Silent Knight is going to take a bonus action and is going to teleport out of the shadow of the corpse of Equam into the shadow of, is going to teleport in the shadow of the hill over here and appear behind the tree in June.
Shadow of the corpse.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's all whatever you roll.
he's standing. Yeah, his feet would have been in it. I guess it would depend on, But also at the same time, the shadow is a 2-dimensional thing. So
Sure.
I would have given him teleportation next to the grass as well, even though you have to squat down. That was my intention anyway. So. However, that's all he can do. He gets a bonus action. He saves, though, at the end of his turn, correct?
He gets another chance, yeah.
Okay. This is another wisdom? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Nope. All right. Moving on. We now have Kringle.
I utilize the power of my ring of water walking and walk across the water.
There you go. You don't get tripped up or swept down. Specifically avoiding a hazard that I would hope would catch someone, but we have a huge ankylosaurus and then a water walking gnome. Okay. What are you doing now?
3, 4. I'm just trying to get an angle on this here Silent Knight so I can shoot at him with one of my moves.
Sure.
And then move.
He's even 5 feet above you on that rise, so you have you can angle up.
Great. I'm gonna blast him with a chromatic orb. Didn't query my higher level. I was casting that at 4th level, but no, it was a crit fail.
Yeah, but it's a red number here. So all right, so unfortunately,
that's a 4th level spell, lol.
It goes wide and it disappears. Anything else from you, Kringle?
Cup strike.
Okay, couple strikey.
On the Holy Knight.
It just pings against his armor and falls back down. Has a cosmetic chip in the rim.
All right.
Careful you don't drink from it. You might cut your lip.
That is my turn.
Okay. Now we come up to June. June, top of the order. You're here. There's a badly beaten Holy Knight.
I have one more shot. My ears are red from its coldness here. I shall try to knock him over. Yeah, not.
All right, get her done. Miss, hit. And are you spending your last key on a flurry?
And I will spend my last points to key flurry of blows.
Okay.
Moving even faster. And as an open hand technique, let's see if this one hits. I'll do one more attack on the Holy Knight. It's a miss, alright. After that.
Hit.
Okay. With this one, I shall knock him prone.
All right. And with damage, 9. All right.
After that, I will move away.
Knocks prone. The armor is all sorts of dented, and this thing is not looking good at all. You're gonna move away. He will get a swing on you. At both he and Silent Knight. Do you want to take the swing?
Silent Knight can't hit me because he's slow.
I'm sorry. Yeah, but yeah, are you risking a disadvantaged swing from Holy Knight? All right.
Hit me with disadvantage. I'll go behind my Inklo bro.
And let's see if either matter. Nope, that's a 1. All right, so just kind of like the great sword kind of flaps back and some gravel goes in the air, but you manage to get away. Silent Knight wants to swing. There's intention, but no follow through.
I feel on presence on my back. I'll scoot around after jumping over the water and face them back over here, and then turn.
All right, woo woo. What do?
Roar.
Okay.
And then if he's prone, I will have advantage on my attack anyway.
Yes.
I will swing at him.
Hits.
22 to hit for 21 bludgeoning damage.
You.
But no, it is magical bludgeoning damage.
You crush the Holy Knight. The breastplate caves in as you flatten this thing, and the Holy Knight kind of dissipates just with this cold bitterness. No mechanical effect, but just this manifestation of sort of rage, frustration, even the face of happiness, of some pettiness and even hypocrisy, and fades out, leaving only Silent Knight behind a tree.
Having absolutely no fear, I will charge directly toward Silent. Silent Knight.
Okay.
As I am yet unharmed.
All right. This is going to bring us then to Equam, you're having, tell me, will I dream? And so Holy Knight is gone. Silent Knight is going to take his chain and try and thwap at the Ankylosaurus. And let's see if any of these do anything. We have...
only gets one attack because
One
it's slow.
attack, 'cause he's slow.
Oh, it takes so it's not an action, because multi-attack is an action.
But
Well, it's a double.
it's part of slow.
Oh, I had everyone
Slow
talking at the same time.
restricts to only.
Yeah,
I can throw it
can't
back
do
up
more
if
than one
you want.
melee or ranged attack during his turn.
Okay, no, I thought it was bound to an action. It scrolled up, so I didn't have that in front of me. All right, never mind. So let's. It rolls. The first roll was a 2. The chain hits, but it just scrapes harmlessly against your Ankylosaurus armor.
Roar.
And it's going to try to. It's going to try and save again. And it will try to save again, and the turn passes to Crinkle.
Cup strike.
All right, Kapu strike. Unfortunately, misses as it leaps out, but it
With the -2 to AC.
yes, actually.
Oh, still misses. All right, and then I will.
No. I mean, yes, you hit it with the -2 to AC.
Hey!
Yeah.
Well, the other one.
All right, so you cup Silent Knight's jingle bells. You deal 6 bludgeoning damage. All right.
Quite an effective cup check.
And then I'm going to send out another chromatic orb.
Pew. And it just flies right.
This is the 3rd time I've cast this spell. And every time it has been a disaster.
June, what are you doing?
Alright.
Done.
Go over here and come up to the Silent Knight. Back across. Since he's huge, I can be in his square, right?
Sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna just wrap him up in Christmas lights.
Okay.
I'll attach my yo-yo to the string of lights and fling it around him, hopefully getting him down.
Mechanically, you're making an attack, right?
Yeah, it's
okay.
an attack.
Got it. All right. The first one hits, and the second one?
I don't want to load in like a bunch of things after the lag.
Oh, there we go. 29, 29, 26. Oh, all right. Once more, June, your father, your yo-yo, your yo-yo goes out, and your father grasps your shoulder. June, I'm proud of you. And that 19 is a critical hit for you.
Oh yeah!
For 2 extra damage. But not that proud. That's fine. So that's another 20.
Should have been a way of dreams, look.
Okay. The Silent Night is still up somehow, as if perhaps a stray Ankylosaurus thwap might bring down the Silent Night. Woo woo.
Wow.
In 11.
18 to hit for 9.
Pack tactics. Wow. So 4 points of damage is enough to, and now you're getting all kinds of stress and tension and just aggravation and these little things that have just built up and all of you feel a wave of frustration. You just give a soulful howl and grr at the same time. And the mists pour more and more out from the waterfall as a fog bank pours over this arena.
Roll for it.
And once more, while I'm putting you over the lands of DnD Time, once more you're flying over as you burst forth from a cloud.
Wait, can I do something really quick as the
Sure.
flag was rolling in?
Sure.
I look over at Woo Woo and I go, Woo Woo, can I use your crystal to help Iquam?
There's a strange farting sound, and wow, the crystal, you have it.
You gave it to me earlier, so that's just an unrelated fart, I guess. And then this takes a lot of the tension out of this moment, and I slam the crystal down on Iquam.
All right. So, Iquam, you are re-entering this world as you left it, kind of unconscious and flying through Dreamtime, but at least you're kind of now in control. You're ending the adventure similar to how you started it by waking up from a nap. And it was a good nap, too. This is the type of nap that just can't be recreated. Well, it can, but...
Dark.
It's ideally not recreated.
And you all feel just... There's kind of... There's still despair. You fought these things. These are bursts of energy. The tension has been released. But still, as you're flying over these cities across this place called Earth, there's people who are starving. People are wondering, is my son going to be okay? I don't know where I'm going to get my next meal. There's people like, stupid Christmas and all. What's Christmas? It seems like an important holiday, but they're, it's all a bunch of greed. It's all a bunch of just merchandise. It's all a bunch of people just, collecting, and it's all about money. And there's also just this desire. You're getting, though, with this release, now an underpinning of hopes, of dreams not just pent up and soured, a desire for something good in the world, something... a bit of magic, a little bit of sparkle, some shine on something otherwise that is just dull and just downright decrepit. That thing on the horizon, that next adventure to look forward to in life. There's a desire now, not just a lack, a need, but it's a strong desire that's still fueling this. And you are hearing now, without your ears being frosted over, Oh, yes, adventurers. I have almost things are almost thawing, I believe. So, and you're hearing, hey, hey, woof, woof, hey, who's that? Hey, please. I can certainly pay you. You're probably here for my money. Get some magic items. I'm sure the bag is. He's just going through items and magic stuff and things that he's just like it's routine, like it's nothing special. Please make your way to the shop and and you're flying. What are you saying or doing here as the voice is kind of drowned out by dogs and then like grows distant again? Barth'l'mew is coming in clearer, still kind of dreamy and a lot of dogs. But what are you doing as you're flying over these cities on this place called Earth? There's been a change in a way, but spiritual woo-woo, Dreamtime woo-woo can speak if you wish. But an Ankylosaurus is clearly flying over Earth.
Caught up in this moment of sheer joy and solstice spirit, Kringle is going to cast the Fabricate spell again and fabricate a bunch of little parachutes and take all of his toys and drop them into the chimneys of the houses of people here on Earth.
Okay, so are you using, like, your clothes for this? Like, are you
taking off your bag? I was taking the fabric from my bag and, like, my spare clothes, but I don't want to end this naked. I will say that.
Okay, that's fine.
I think Kringle is wearing underneath his regular clothes his bright red pajamas, okay. And that's what he ends up in at the end of this.
So Kringle, I mean, you try, you're casting, you're trying to drop. I mean, you have a couple toys. And in a sea of blinking red lights, there's like that one green light. But you know what? That's a green light. Equam, Woo Woo, June. It looks like there's another swirling cloud bank. You're probably going to be leaving this realm called Earth shortly. What would you like to say or do before you exit this world, this dream?
I feel like, am I woo-woo again?
Yeah.
I feel like there was a really profound lesson we were supposed to learn here tonight, guys.
If there was, I'm not sure I learned it. I think I spent a fair bit of time not entirely there.
You know what? That's very fair, man. You look like shit. Even as like a spirit. Here, you want some ooze booze? And we'll swing over with his tail and hand you an ooze booze via his tail.
June, do you have any observations or things to say before you hit this cloud bank?
I just want to say that a lot of these people remind me of my family, and I can't wait to see them again.
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave these people the happiest animals I can think of. And I'm going to conjure 8 reindeer which will fall out of the sky. The tastiest animals I
As they're
know.
falling out of the sky, I'll like scratch my head and like all the tangerine will come sprinkling down.
The poor kids on the playground scream in terror as a reindeer falls from the sky in the jungle gym and just is dashed apart.
Wait, so
and the clouds swirl. You're over. You're now flying towards Barth'l'mew's shop, and by flying I mean you're falling. You're falling pretty quickly and out of control. However, before you hit, a swirl of familiar teleportation magic takes you all back inside the shop. And Roger is there as a cat. Meow. He says in a nasally meow. And Barth'l'mew is behind a frosted mirror still. You're seeing a silhouette like, hello, greetings, adventurers. And there's still like some frost coming off of this Dreamtime portal.
Equum goes up to the mirror and like tries to scrub at it a little bit.
I will punch the mirror.
You did. It hurts your hand. As this is and Kringle, can you make an Arcana?
Wait, just a moment. I figured these things out last time too. By doing that, and I put on my beard of Barth'l'mew.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's take a look here and see. I look at the thing.
There might be something. There's a lot of things here. There might be something. Something that could break ice. Something that could. You're a tinkerer. I'll tell you what. Make a tinkerer tool off of intelligence. I want to make sure I'm zoomed in at a proper. A device of some kind that can shatter this glass. It can't be done by a hand. Violence doesn't seem to be the solution here. Something joyous.
I got it, guys. We're gonna play icebreaker games. All right, I'm Woo Woo, and I like pottery. Equam, it's your turn.
I am Equam, and I like naps.
All right, Kringle.
My name's Kringle, and I like to make toys.
All right, now I'm June.
I'm June. I like, I'm from the hood. I like to take long walks on the beach and walking my dog and waking up every morning to water my
Adventurers, please, this isn't working. Can you please, how would you shatter something?
This was such a positive experience.
How could you shatter something? Like the spell,
right,
but that might not work.
Fine. All right, who's gonna blow the damn trumpet?
I'll look around here up in his bookshelves for a shatter scroll.
Kringle is a trumpet. Someone's gonna blow the trumpet.
I don't play instruments.
Woo, if I lifted you up there, do you think you could toot the trumpet?
Me? Little
yes.
Woo, blow
what
the
happens to
trumpet?
that whole, like, we're transporting like people sort of dealio? What happens to, like, zoo zips and stuff?
We'll see.
Oh, I think it was a trick. It was all a trick. All right, I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability,
Okay.
Charisma, and make myself good at music. And then Equam gonna pick me up in the air, and I'm gonna blow on the bugle.
All right.
I
So
do not know what we are trying to do.
the bugle that's been in the wreath since the beginning is hanging there. Our little armless kobold, filled with magical charisma, is going to inhale deeply, his chest expanding, and is going to give a celebratory doot.
I use prestidigitation to make it sound like, smell like cinnamon.
All right.
It's everything. It's all that.
Woo woo, you doot through the bugle in the wreath, and as you doot, the ice crack, 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 and the ice shatters. However, the mirror also begins to crack. Adventurers! This isn't supposed to. It's not a controlled. Yeah, it's not a controlled portal. And the glass kind of breaks. And there's a moment where now Barth'l'mew, it's like he's on the other side of a door. I mean, he could just like crawl through. It's actually like a space you could reach through. There's just a rim. And of course, there's dogs now. You can see. A couple of them have some really nice bows tied to them. And as this happens, everything in the store, in Barth'l'mew's store, begins to shiver and shake, and all of you feel a wind kind of like sucking in towards this portal into the dream world. That is to say, duck! And Barth'l'mew hits the floor. And
Equam pulling
you
back
just
down,
drop, yeah.
just like drops
Kringle?
backwards as well.
I'm going to take this off. Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy solstice.
As you say this merrily, you're being sucked into this portal.
Oh.
And a potion bonks. The potion bonks you in the head as the wind is sucking into this broken glass.
I cast Wall of Force, making a wall of force in which I am in a sphere and cannot be pulled in.
Okay, so you're standing there, and Roger the cat is like holding onto the counter, like through the wind. His hat is still somehow magically on his head, but it's like curled back and flapping, you know. And a potion comes tumbling through, conks him, it spills out, and Roger renomifies in his robes, and he's still hanging on. Guys, I can't quite do the deeper nasally voice. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's happening! There we go. It's more the back of the throat than the nasal then. Oh! It looks... He's giving some exposition. It looks like all of Barth'l'mew's magic items are entering the dream realm, where they're going to sprinkle into people's dreams, bringing them magic and happiness. And,
We have to stop. Sorry. We gotta stop that from happening. That sounds too good.
And so pocket creature balls get sucked into the dream realm, potions and glittering gems and scrolls of all varieties, all kind, magical flowers that all they do is just sparkle. Mundane and everything is sucked into the dream realm, where the dream realm has intersected with this earth that has had such a negativity. And people looking, what?
I want to throw my potato in there.
Very well. Clyde the potato. You want to release him? And
Come back to me someday, Clyde.
Clyde is sucked into the dream realm, where all these other magical, sparkling things are. And through that, the dreams of the people of Earth on this solstice, or they call it this Christmas time, are filled, if only by a little bit of magic, something they can look at, if not touch, as they see possibilities, they see fun, they see adventure. And for a great many, perhaps it gives them some hope, because there is that next big adventure in life. There are rewards if you're willing to take the risks. That life is worth living, and through the pain and the injury, that there are people out there in your life that are there beside you, to help you, to heal you, to guide you, and to support you. And once Barth'l'mew's shop is all but consumed into the dream realm, Barth'l'mew pops up and crawls out, stammering as he usually does. And how was that type of... No. Spring some joy. Like he's going around. He's like, all my things, and he's more of a materialistic. My things are gone, and he doesn't seem to appreciate the ramifications here. But he makes and his staff comes down, and a woman and a child. The child's maybe 10 years old. Both of them have dark hair, brown eyes, tan complexions. Well, adventurers, these are the VIPs. I would like you to meet Maria and her son Joseph. And both of them look, and in what we Earthlings might consider to be a Spanish accent, but it is in English, or the common tongue. Oh, hello. Were you the ones who guided us safely?
I don't think that was...
We did some. We definitely helped, if not bring you all the way.
Mostly Zuzip.
Oh.
Zuzip and Barth'l'mew, and we all We all did our part.
Ah, the flower, the large flower. Delightful. My son here, Joshua, always had vivid dreams of adventure. Plays all sorts of fantasy games. Something about Dungeons and Dragons.
I hear that's really bad for bad for his development.
I never thought anything of it, but ever since we lost his father Joseph, it's been kind of bad. I've been having to raise him alone. And yes, this is where we come in. I was investigating Earth, and I was looking for great sources of power, and it would seem that in an Earth town called El Paso, not only was it very warm, which was very good to help stave off the cold, though there was this woman who many people seemed to adore. She could bring warmth and light into people's lives. According to my research on this figure who lives in this town called El Paso, she is the top-selling Smelzy Candle independent franchisee. And do you have your magical device? Of course. And she brings out her Smelzy candles. I brought the catalog as well. Oh, yes, I sampled it, and even on the recommendation of Zuzip, who is an expert at smelling and perfumes. Yes, she was able to actually inspire a new scent. Well, yes. Well, as you can see, I have plenty of room for more candles, as my entire store has been stripped bare into the dream world. Anyway, I'll take all of your Smelzy candles. You are a controller of emotion and light in your world, and I would like to have a little bit of that control here. I'm feeling very frustrated, given the circumstances. Well, of course. Barth'l'mew, was it? Thank you so much. And Maria turns to all of you and kind of like pushes Joshua forward. Joshua comes over, looks over to you. Equam, you're a really nice looking cat. Can I pet you?
I guess. And just kind of flop down next to him.
And
well, hello there, little Joshua. How are you doing?
Wow.
What's your favorite thing about this time of year?
I like Christmas because I didn't like Christmas because I didn't have my papa anymore. But I kept having these dreams where maybe I could grow up and be like him. Maybe I could be strong. Maybe I could do brave things. And then in that dream, that's when I met the man in blue, and we talked. And I couldn't understand some of the words that he said, but eventually I did, and I told Mama about it, and she gave me permission to go with the blue man in my dreams. And I told her she can come too. And he's kind of going on. And can I do the things that you do? I heard about all the what do you call it? Is it kung fu? Can I do kung fu also? And you have like a little fan here.
Yeah, I wanted to be like my father too, and I see him in my dreams.
A gasp. And as he's going through, Joshua here goes over to Kringle. Are you a kid like me? Why do you have more wrinkles on your face, though?
Just, if you get as old as I'm not a kid. Nope. Would you like a toy? I take out a toy, and then I realize I just dropped all my toys into the. I don't have a toy. Kringle's without a toy for the first time in his life.
No, Mr. Kringle, I don't need a toy. I've been given the greatest gift of all of you, and the things that I've heard, and this whole dream. Wait, is this a dream? Is this real? He kind of honks his nose. Ooh, and looks over. Is this an animal? Is this a stuffed animal? It looks broken. Kind of comes over to you and looks at your stumps.
Wait a minute. I'm still trying to get a grip of what's going on here.
It talks, says the 10-year-old.
Oh, this whole thing to buy candles?
Yes, well, you see, these are very popular brand of candles, apparently sold all over one of the countries in this place called Earth. Some brand called Smelzy.
You know what? It's all good. I should have realized it. You know what, kid? Here is some ooze booze. Actually, you have my inflatable duck swimmies.
Okay. Here's Oozbooz, and Maria, his mom, just looks at you and gives you that mom stare that any race can understand here. And by that I mean the swimmies, and I like these. And gives you Woo Woo. This 10-year-old comes and like gives you a hug and picks you up and swirls you around.
Oh, I hate this.
Well, I don't hate you, Woo Woo.
How did you know my name?
I was told.
There. That's it. There it is.
I hate you so much.
Yeah.
Solstice ever.
All right.
Well,
Kid, just follow your dreams, and you'll be a great adventurer like us someday. Huh?
Maria.
Start.
Maria, would you please? I'm sorry to cut you off. I want to keep things kind of getting towards a wrap here. Maria, would you please take your son Joshua outside? I need to have a moment alone with the adventurers here. And of course. Thank you, Barth'l'mew. We'll be out, and they go walk around because they were kind of dressed for cold weather on the ship and everything. Barth'l'mew steadies himself, and he begins how he begins almost every sentence. Greetings, adventurers, even though you're already here.
This is true.
Again.
You have earned yourself a promotion. You have saved the lands of DnD Time, as well as those of this place called Earth. You have brought a little magic, if at my expense, to those people. And from helping to stem the tide of negativity and the bitterness, so too has the bitter cold started to recede from our lands, to now go into a merely seasonal cold. With your promotion to legendary tier, there would be some measure, perhaps, of fanfare, not like you've received otherwise. As, well, for all that you've done, I suppose that in the exploration of dreams, in the pain and the suffering that you've been through, there are trials ahead of you. If you would, and the clock kind of goes bong bong as it is solstice day at midnight. Well, it's nighttime, but whatever. It's December 25th.
36 minutes off.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's time for my sister's piano recital. I need to go home quickly.
June, my apologies. Before that, I need you to follow me through this door. And he points, boop, off camera to the back door. If you would be so kind, I have to be forthwith and forthright, and fourth, fifth, and sixths with you. Please. He takes on a bit of a somber tone and walks through the door.
All right, I'll go up to it. No.
It's open. It's glowing. It's just a white glowing.
I don't have time. I'll just dash through.
Okay. June dashes through.
We'll hop through.
Equilum slowly walks through, peering through the door.
Equam, it really is for the best, I suppose. And Roger's he's kind of like looking away, but, also thank you all for, I should have said it before the others jumped through.
I'm going through the door. Your voice is literally killing me, Roger.
But, woo-woo!
I run through the door.
Equam, will you, if you see Woo-Woo, will you let him know that I also appreciate his help in restoring me back from being a cat?
I shall endeavor to pass the message along.
Thank you. I suppose... I'll see you again, Equam. Bye.
Bye.
And he kind of gives his big gnomish nose he gives a little bit of a sniffle as you disappear into the light. And with that, the door closes. And Maria and Joshua walk back in to Roger, who has a little bit of a tear in his eye, to a completely empty Barth'l'mew store. Barth'l'mew's not here. It's just Roger. And this is where we fade out. And I want to thank you all for going on a Christmas time, fourth wall breaking, DnD time, MattyMorgs time adventure.
Hey.
Time.
Matty, thank you so much for running.
Thank you so much.
Indeed. I am very tired, but this is a lot of fun.
I'm sorry I kept you up later than what I thought we would. I guess such is the nature. But
it's a D&D time finale thing. Of course it's going to go super. This is how it works.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any of our games?
Traditions. If you didn't, then it wouldn't have been a D&D time.
It wouldn't have been canon.
Zeus is
No.
Not saying it is canon.
It does not have to be. For any of you out there, I have not altered whatever the realm is. I've played within the sandbox, and if a part of my sandcastle stays, so be it. If the wind and rain blow it back naturally to where it's supposed to be, so be it. But for tonight, for these 2 nights, that was my question, but apparently Lemmick's been there, and maybe Lemmick was partly responsible for causing these sour feelings. But yeah, I want to thank you all for your time. In the grand scheme of things, it was kind of short notice, especially for Mike and Cam. But for all of you to whip up your characters, to come to the table, to play, for all the laughs, for the fun, for the skill challenges and all this stuff. I hope that I did D&D Time justice. I hope I did your player experiences justice. And thank you for this ability to cross over.
Again, thank you, Matty. It was a joy, an absolute joy.
If you want to watch more of these kind of ridiculous things, check out twitch.tv/D&D Time next year.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow, today, technically today, Friday.
There is I'm running a one shot tomorrow. It's gonna be it's gonna be more goofy than the average one shot that I would run. So,
one shot. So, Matty,
yes.
Okay, in the corner there, I see you have Lemmics, and I think that's Necronomicon. Is that what that is? In the corner?
Yeah, so that is, there are Easter eggs. This is a book on necromancy written by Lemmick.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come up here to a book that says ILL, and on the side it simply has the initials TF.
Wait, where is that one?
Right above the Necronomicon.
I don't see the Necronomicon either.
It's written in red.
Oh, wait, over from the right. Okay.
Yeah.
Torfless Frombladuke.
Yeah.
I assume.
TF on a Book of Illusion.
Yeah.
Of someone spotted, there's Roger, of course.
Of course.
Roger.
And you said
the
moon-based plans.
It looks like we have a little angry cloud.
The moon-based plans is the masterpiece.
Oh yeah, that's righteous.
There is a little cloud in a bottle here. Yep.
I see you got the Sassmaster scarf up.
Hey, I was hoping someone would pick up that says Sass, kind of written across the top with the S and then the partial A up there.
Working on them.
That is indeed a tribute to the Sassmasters up there.
Thank you.
What's that one chest in the back there?
It looks like it might be something MattyMorgs with the MM on it.
Well, the blue is MM, and the plate says P&J, but there's another chest as well.
Oh, it looks like that's a chest of charm.
Yeah, it's a chest of charms.
I see. I couldn't.
That's where the charms are stored.
I too was having
Is that a golden dwarven?
A golden dwarf?
Oh, I was half tempted to put something like that in there, but I even if it was a slight reference, I figured I'd err on the side of caution. However,
just a yellow line.
Yeah, for your all's for anyone who gets it, sure, it's right there and it is obvious. For those of you who don't, have a good night. There, you saw nothing. Oh, all right. Well, for everyone, the boyos here probably have to go and do their thing. I am going to be going to bed shortly, and so I will not be raiding. We're going to end the evening, and I do hope that you find peace and happiness in your solstice, your Festivus, your Hanukkah, your Christmas, Shoot, I didn't check when Ramadan is. Kwanzaa is about this time of year as well. Or honestly, if you just take some time off and you relax, you find yourself, you allow yourself to dream, even if it is a fantasy, work to make it reality. There are those of us here in our communities, in the DnD Time community, in the MattyMorgs community. We are here and can share our wit and wisdom with you. We can offer you entertainment. We can offer you friendship and other support, especially in this exciting, and for some, it's a rough time of year. But we're all in this together. And if a party member falls, just shove a jagged crystal down your friend's throat, and everything will be all right.